them. Make it through together, it'll be all love and it's all good. And it's all good. Feel like I'm the big dog, been killing it since tip off. Come with it or stay home, the people gon' feel ripped off. It's only major leaguers in the office. If you giving half of an effort round the rest of us, you'll make it awkward. I'm about that action, not the one you talk with. You better hope I'm not the one your coach gon' have you out here really guarding. It took a lot for me to get here, but I have arrived. I really made it and the haters be looking surprised. Been down before, but now I'm better than I've ever been. Through all adversity, I saw them right now at the whatever the problem, we'll solve them. Make it through together, it'll be all love and it's all good. Yeah. Okay. They say pressure makes diamonds. That's what I align with, cause the journey I be climbing is riddled with perfect timing. I'm in a different mode when I be trying to get it. To even get a chance to compete is a form of winning. I mean, what's the point of playing if we ain't striving for greatness? I feel a sense of pride with every play that I'm making. To the top of the world when I came for the basement. Boy, I'm the one and not the two, so don't get it mistaken.
You waited all night for me to come back. Why'd you think that it's not alright? Told you that I'm not that type. Didn't mean to get you so excited. Tried to tell you not to fall in love. Why you always hit me uninvited? Was hoping you would get the picture. I've had enough. Now it's time for me to turn around. Thought you knew what this was. Yeah, I am superstar. You were never the one for me. Never should have fell for me. Take back your heart. Why don't you take it back? You never had a chance. I'm gonna take back the one heart. Savage love, just till I had enough of us. I'm good, babe, I'm on my own. This ain't a phase, just let me go. Told you that I'm not that type. Don't bother wasting right. Begging for one more chance, yeah. Know you got carried away, ooh, you made me to say. Even messing with greatness, faces, stay in your place. I was looking to play, then you got in the way. All the love that we made, got me stuck in the rain. Got no time to stay here and say goodbye. Yeah, I am superstar. You were never the one for me. Never should have fell for me. Take back your take it back. You never had a chance. I'm gonna take back the one heart. Call it a savage love, just till I had enough of us.
killing it since tip-off. Come with it or stay home, the people gon' feel ripped off. It's only major leaguers in the office. If you giving half of an effort round the rest of us, you'll make it awkward. I'm about that action, not the one you talk with. You better hope I'm not the one your coach gon' have you out here really guarding. It took a lot for me to get here, but I have arrived. I really made it and the haters be looking surprised. Been down before, but now I'm better than I've ever been. Through all adversity, I saw them right now at the whatever the problem, we'll solve them. Make it through together, it'll be all love, and it's all good. Yeah. Okay. They say pressure makes diamonds. That's what I align with, cause the journey I've been climbing is riddled with perfect timing. I'm in a different mode when I be trying to get it. To even get a chance to compete is a form of winning. I mean, what's the point of playing if we ain't striving for greatness? I feel a sense of pride with every play that I'm making. To the top of the world when I came for the basement. Boy, I'm the one and not the two, so don't get it mistaken.
You waited all night for me to come back. Why'd you think that it's not alright? Told you that I'm not that type. Didn't mean to get you so excited. Tried to tell you not to fall in love. Why you always hit me uninvited? Just hoping you would get the picture. I've had enough. Now it's time for me to turn around. Thought you knew what this was. Yeah, I am superstar. You were never the one for me. Never should have fell for me. Take back your heart. Why don't you take it back? You never had a chance. I'm gonna take back your heart. Savage love, just when I had enough of us. I'm good, babe, I'm on my own. This ain't a phase, just let me go. Told you that I'm not that type. Don't bother wasting right. Begging for one more chance. Yeah, know you got carried away. Ooh, you made me to say it. Even this one greatness, space to stay in your place. I was looking to play, then you got in the way. All the love that we made got me stuck in the rain. Got no time to stay here and say goodbye. Yeah, I am superstar. You were.
The Snapdragon Pro Series is brought to you by Snapdragon Elite Gaming, Monster Energy, and DHL.
Looks like the players are ready. Here we go!
It's the last day of the challenge season, and only the top 6 have a shot at moving to the challenge finals, which will be happening at DreamHack Hyderabad. Welcome to Snapdragon Pro Series. It is the day 4 of the challenge season itself, and I'm going to be your host and caster for the day. John alongside with me on the panel. It's going to be iSuper Johnny. And Johnny, the final day is over here, and we pretty much have an idea which of those top 6 teams going to be.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much, as you said, right? Group A almost confirmed, but we do have the three names from Group B that will be moving forward in the form of NS, Time to Pound, and Godlike. And all these three teams have put up amazing performance in the past. But Necro, let's talk about today. From Group B itself, we have a lot of hype matches in front of us. First of all, kicking the day off will be Time to Pound taking on NS, and of course, the prize fight, the heavyweight matchup, Time to Pound against Godlike. That is also set place to take place today, and it is going to be exciting to see finally can Time to Pound stand up to Godlike and at least give them their first loss of this Snapdragon Pro Series.
Johnny, but you know what's even important? That's also going to be the money that's on the line. Johnny, prize pool for this challenge season group A and B is going to be the first placing team will get their hands on 80,000 rupees. The second one will be getting 50,000. The third one will be getting 40, and it's going to keep on descending downwards. And as I keep on mentioning this every single time, this will be the individual prizes given to group A and B. But as we move on towards the leaderboard itself, as I mentioned, we pretty much have a rough idea which are those top three teams going to be. Not a rough idea. We pretty much have the confirmation. No matter whoever loses in the top three, they're still going to be in the top three.
Not in Group A, though. In Group A, there is one game happening today that will decide who takes the third position. It is going to be Galaxia against Feline. That is going to be match number 4 according to the schedule. But that is the game that will decide the third team, in fact, that will move forward from Group A to that LAN stage. For Group B, I think things are pretty much much more clearer. As we can see, NonStop 2-1, they are moving forward. Time to Pound 2 wins, no losses. They are moving forward as well. Godlike Esports 2 wins, no losses. They are also moving forward. And again, the bottom two teams in Group B are very far behind. 5 a.m. I don't think they have a chance of making it through now, considering they're already on the 4th position, and they do not really have an opportunity to take on and beat the likes of Godlike or Time to Pound. And then again, the 3 matches that we have left from Group B are just between the top 3 teams. So those 3 teams are just going to take on each other and get it over with. That's just like a warm-up game before the LAN finale. And the other 2 teams are just going to sit back at home and wait and watch. But for Group A, it is going to be exciting to see, can Galaxia secure a spot for that LAN? Do you think that's going to happen, Necro?
Or is it going to be Felines, Johnny? You never know, man. Felines, too, you cannot really underestimate that team. Yes, it's understandable. In the past couple of games, Felines has been getting beat down over and over again. But the same thing has been happening with Galaxia, too. And here's the surprise. 5 a.m. versus Godlike Esports. 5 a.m. forfeited that match.
Oh, man. I mean, but I do understand it to a certain extent why that happened after what Godlike did to the competition yesterday. I mean, we all remember that series where they played against Panda Express, my apologies. And as you mentioned, they took advantage of the fact that Panda Express is not a violent species, but Godlike is. That is what we learned from the experience yesterday. But hey, it's going to be exciting to see how the match today turns out.
Honestly speaking, let's speak about some of the most exciting matches today, right? Of course, it's going to be the M1 itself, which is going to be between Time to Pound and NonStop. And then the second most exciting matchup of the day is going to be between Felines and Galaxia, because that's going to be the decider, right? But speaking of the match one itself, now Time to Pound, they've been having quite a flawless run. But the only reason they've been having a flawless run is because they haven't really faced off against some of the formidable forces like NonStop and Godlike, which they are going to today.
Up, and 2 of the most difficult matches Time to Pound will have to face in their group, both of them on the last day. But it's quite exciting, right? They have been right now proving to be extremely strong. So as far as their match 1, as you mentioned, their match against NS is considered, Necro, I have a feeling that Time to Pound will take the win, but it's going to be extremely close series. I think we are going all the way towards the decider. It's not going to be a 2-0 for sure.
Yeah, that's what I think too, man, because NonStop is not someone you can just underestimate like that. Yes, understandably, in the past couple of games, NonStop has been having a rough outing, but you cannot really forget Cosmo and Lamont. These 2 guys, they're nuts. And you cannot really forget the addition of Smitty and Karma as well. If every single player on this team starts to pop off, one thing is for sure, Johnny, NonStop, they won't be far away from the victor.
Well, let's see, though, how things are going to turn out, because NonStop, as you mentioned, I mean, there are moments where you see the players from NonStop perform exceptionally well on an individual level and drag their teams out of very tough positions. And if that happens today, they are definitely going to push Time to Pound towards their limits, and you never know. Even NonStop could be the team that walks away with the win if things work out. Because this is what was happening yesterday. After a while, I mean, we saw NonStop taking on Panda Express as well, and we all remember the melee whacks that were handed to the players of Panda Express, especially in that search and destroy mode. So that is something that even Time to Pound will have to watch out for today. If you give NonStop momentum, well, they are going to be unstoppable because NonStop is in the name.
Now, you said, in your opinion, Time to Pound is going to be the one to come through, but my prediction's going to be NonStop, man. I think so NonStop is going to be the one to have this in the back. Now, if you're trying to look at Time to Pound, we have seen a lot of those loopholes in their strategy. Yes, we've seen the same thing happen with NonStop too, but what's really a good thing about NonStop is that their firepower. They really rely on that aggression, and that's something that might just catch the players of Time to Pound off guard, because if you just do not really have enough time to think what the opponent's trying to bring on the board, well, that's a surprise package you're unfolding, my friend. And speaking of surprise packages, we've got the map veto on the screen right now. Hacienda is going to be the first pick made by Time to Pound.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see how they play it out. I think Time to Pound is one of those teams that has played a lot of Hacienda, not just now, but all the way from the Open Finals. Then we move on to Search and Destroy. It's going to be Tenacia. Tenacia has become kind of a default pick as far as the challenge season is considered. I think every single Search and Destroy, majority of them have been played on this map. And then we have Control, Seaside, which is going to be exciting if we actually get towards that. Because, I mean, yesterday, every single match was a quick 2-0. Today, though, it's going to be a different story, or at least our expectations are going to be extremely different. We are expecting the matches to be a little bit more close and a little bit more down to the wire in terms of how the teams go about it. Because, again, I mean, you talk about match 1, Time to Pound, NS, right? You and I both are split. I go for Time to Pound. You feel NS is going to be stronger. Then we have the next matchup, which is going to be Godlike against Time to Pound. And depending on how this first match goes for Time to Pound, either they will feel very confident running into Godlike next, or their mental is going to be completely broken. If they take a loss to NS, then they will just be like, yeah, let's just get it over with.
But here's the funny part, right? For Time to Pound, it's not even going to make a dent. Even if they lose both the matches today, they're still going to qualify for the DreamHack Land Finals anyway.
That's the thing.
So it's completely fine, right? If Time to Pound, they lose out against the players of NonStop. If NonStop loses against the players of Time to Pound, it's not going to be even a single dent. And even Godlike, they've already won 3-0. So we already know today's match is forfeited, so even Godlike has moved on. Group B has solidified their slots. We're just waiting for Group A, a match between Felines and Galaxia. Now, that's going to be a super exciting match because that's going to be the decider. And, Johnny, I do understand match 1 is a different one, but I would still like to know your predictions for that game between Galaxia and Felines.
Oh, man, that is going to be an intense one, and I have a feeling, so you and I were having the discussion before the show went live, and I think we're going to let the audience in on this as well. Are you okay with that, Necro?
Yeah, sure, why not? You know what? They're our friends.
Yeah, exactly. So, ladies and gentlemen, my perspective was that I expect Galaxia to take away the win today. And Necro, what is your prediction?
Oh, I'm going to go with the opposition, man. I think Felines, they've got this in the back. We've seen Dope and Pieces perform so well. I do understand Felines, they have been getting beat down in the past. They have been defeated so many times. But the only reason why Felines has been defeated is because they have been facing off against some of the formidable force. This time around, Galaxia is one of those teams that's going to be second-guessing themselves. So I think Felines, they might just have the upper edge.
I mean, you just called Galaxia an easy matchup for Feline. That's what I'm taking away from this. But hey, we'll talk about that series once it actually begins. Right now, it is Time to Pound going up against NonStop on Hacienda. The first mode of Hardpoint is live. And looking at the kill feed right now, Necro, right off the bat, it just feels like Time to Pound. Well, it is Time to Pound indeed.
Indeed, Johnny. I mean, off the rip, things aren't looking pretty nice for them. And Time to Pound at least getting that 7 points on the board and NonStop with 1. But let's be honest, NonStop is one of those teams that does thrive on Hardpoint itself because that aggression, it really favors the players of NonStop.
That is true, and that is what we're seeing right now. Instant retaliation coming in from the side of NonStop. As the kills come their way, they take control of this first hard point and have started to move up their counter. And look at the flanks that are coming in from the side of NonStop as well, catching the players a Time to Pound off guard before they even stand a chance to react to the control, to the amount of control that NonStop has on this first point.
Indeed, Johnny. I mean, with the way things are looking pretty back and forth, honestly speaking, man, NonStop, they still need to put a big lead on the board just to make sure that Time to Pound isn't really going to be feeling too comfy against them. And you cannot really underestimate Time to Pound as well. They're the big brainers, just like Anthem. Now, you can really draw parallels between Anthem and Time to Pound here.
Yeah, I mean, you can, definitely, but let's see, sometimes slowing things down can backfire if the opposing side takes a hefty lead, and that is what Time to Pound have to stop NonStop from doing. And as of now, Cosmo, he's leading the charge quite nicely for his side, getting all of those frags, building up a lot of pressure on the side of NonStop, and we all know this P2 inside of this garage becomes a big challenge, and right now we are seeing the side of Time to Pound struggle with that retake, Necro.
Yeah, they're getting pounded. We're also seeing a lot of those heavy investments pull through, right? And that's something that's really bringing a table turner on the board for now. And we had a conversation about this too, right? For NonStop, if every single player starts to perform on the board at the same time, then it's going to be a real problem for Time to Pound. But you cannot really forget some of the players like Griffin, Random, and Progressive. If these three guys, they really do feel at the top of the game as well, they can be a tough competition to Lemon and Cosmo.
Oh, they definitely can be, but look at this, Freddy. He shows up, Progressive and Griffin, both of them kicked out. Karma traded out on the other side, but it's time to move on to P3. And even though the players of NonStop have gotten there first, they're just waiting for Time to Pound to show up so that they can take them down, buy themselves a few extra seconds, and then increase their counter. It is a brilliant strategy that has been working out for the side of NonStop all this time. But what is that? Did he just run back around the corner? Looking at the man inside. Wow.
Oh, Time to Pound is now starting to win a lot of these duels, and that's really hurting the players of NonStop. NonStop needs to do something, but still they've got a decent lead on the scoreboard itself. Heavy investments from Abyss, and that actually works out perfectly. But then even Cosmo pulls out the equalizer. Unfortunately, he gets neutralized with that War Machine, and Master with the War Machine was able to find so much value to the point where he almost cleared that entire Hardpoint. And now Time to Pound, they've got the control, all thanks to Master.
Well, it is going to be interesting to see how things turned out. As you mentioned, Time to Pound, all because of one man popping off, building up all of that pressure. They have somehow managed to close the difference between them and NonStop. But how long can they keep this going? Lemon goes down. That's going to be a big pick, along with Smithy as well. Out of the picture, Master moves in. It's going to be a difficult retake for this Hardpoint, but they are fighting for control. Utility lobbed out. The players from NonStop are going to be cleared up. But as they try to move in, Master tries to go for a cleanup, whiffs an angle, and he's going to be traded out. Lemon with that 3K definitely shutting down any pressure, any aggression from Time to Pound, and NonStop. Well, here we go again.
This is looking real competitive, real quick. NonStop, at least they're running away with the advantage. Annihilator pulled out from Random. A great shot. Always pulls through. Nicely done by Random. At least these type of shots are going to equalize the scoreline, maybe for the side of Time to Pound. They've got the control, and now they're also running away with the points flow in their court, and that's a great thing. Equalizer pulled out from Progressive, is able to find just one with that. Not a lot of that value converted, but it's completely fine. As long as you've got the points flow, that's all that matters. And even the defense from the side of Time to Pound is looking pretty nice.
Yeah, it's looking pretty solid, man. I mean, Time to Pound, they're doing well for themselves. Look at that, just a single point separating the two sides, and Time to Pound once again finding themselves in the lead of this game for the first time since that first Hardpoint when they were allowed to kick things off. But now, can they keep the momentum going? They have to not allow NonStop to regain control of this match, but a bit. Oh, that was an important frag, and he does find the second as well. Or in fact, he gets traded out, but Master and Progressive chime in, and Time to Pound, they do manage to maintain that slight advantage that they've held on to for all of this time. But Necro, as you mentioned, the back and forth between these two sides, this is turning out to be one of the most competitive Hardpoints we've seen in the Snapdragon Pro Series.
Hands down, Johnny. Before now, NonStop have got the control, and NonStop is going to be definitely pissed with the way Time to Pound made the comeback in the scoreboard. NonStop never saw this coming. 90 to 94, Time to Pound once again. They get the Hardpoint back in their hands, and that's going to be a bad news for the players of NonStop. If NonStop wants to stop the players of Time to Pound gaining a lead, gaining an advantage in the scoreboard, they need to do something right now. This point is going to be really crucial.
Oh, it's definitely going to be quite crucial, but let's see, 98 to 96, now it's tied up again. And it's just the delay that was added from the players of Time to Pound. NonStop could only walk away with the points off the last few seconds, but now switching back to P2, it's inside of the garage. We all know the crossfires become very difficult to beat, but NonStop, they get there first, the trades come in. Time to Pound somehow do manage to react and do manage to successfully retake that hard point, but War Machine in the hands of Master. He needs to be very careful with how he utilizes this. Needs to get a lot of value from this operator skill.
And he has been getting a lot of that value with the War Machine too. Look at Master, just pre-firing around the corners, finding those kills as well. And as long as he's finding those kills, it's going to delay the push towards the point for the players of NonStop. NonStop at this point in time just stuck. They do not even know how to breach in towards this garage area. And Time to Pound is just now starting to run away with the lead. But we're also seeing a lot of those heavy investments pull through from Time to Pound. Soon enough, they're going to run out of fuel.
Yeah, soon enough. I mean, that's it, right? Do not get gassed out. But let's see. 137 now. Time to pound. They have taken a decent advantage against the players of NonStop. And NonStop have been stopped in their tracks. Oh, no. Predator missile. It comes out. Only gets a single off of that. But sometimes just relieving that little bit of pressure can turn out to be a lot. Time to pound. Necro, it seems like now they have regained their composure, in control of the game. But this hardpoint is where it is going to be a make it or break it situation. If they can manage to go over 200 with this hardpoint itself, then I think this is going to be their game.
Oh, Cosmo's equalizer is going to be the main game changer, Johnny. And Cosmo's already able to get so many players down, so that's a great thing. And still he's alive inside of that area. So one thing is for sure, Cosmo, as long as this man is alive on the hardpoint itself, it's going to be tough to retake. Still, the fact that he's not taken down is crazy to me. Master's wrapped up all the way from the back lines. He wants to take down a few more players with the play that he's got going for himself. And just like that, it feels like the time to pound players, they've already got the control in their hand. But still, the claw from the side of Le Mans is maybe delaying things a little bit more. And he keeps it going. NonStop, they wanted to equalize and neutralize the lead that the players of Time to Pound have. They do have the control for now, but Time to Pound is going to try to make it as tough as possible.
Oh, it's not going to be easy, though. As you mentioned, Time to Pound, they're not just going to make it tough. They are going to try and beat down on NonStop that has been stopped. Random from the distance, a little bit of pre-fire to add some passive pressure on the two players that were running around the corner, but Abyss and Progressive on the other side. Look at the kill feed. It's just Time to Pound, pounding down on NonStop. Cosmo finally getting a kill for his team. Le Mans chimes in as well as Griffin gets taken out, but still Time to Pound. A lot more pressure inside of this game right now. 179 to 129. There are 40 seconds left, but NonStop is in control of the hardpoint, and Karma with this war machine is going to try and shut down Time to Pound right here, right now. They're going to try and bring themselves back into a fighting position.
Yeah, they're not creating a chokehold, Johnny. And for some reason, the players of Time to Pound once again not able to breeze through. One of the men was able to do so. He was able to find a crack in that defense, but that crack wasn't enough. They should have exploited that gap. But unfortunately, for the players of Time to Pound, that wasn't really enough. And looking at the scoreboard too, NonStop slowly and steadily once again on the first and neutralizing that lead. They're not that far away from Time to Pound.
Well, let's see though. This time NonStop, I mean, they've done a brilliant job cutting down the difference between the two sides, 156 to 183. The trade comes in, Spitty brilliantly done, but he goes down instantly as he runs around the corner, tries to fall back. And on the other side, the hard point still uncontested. Le Mans is going to be the one moving in, and NonStop, they somehow managed to regain control of this hard point. They need to make sure the difference is not that much between the two sides. There's still time left, and it seems like all of a sudden Necro Time to Pound, as they were struggling, Griffin, he brings out that Sparrow, and it's going to be a lot of value regained from this. Look at that, kill after kill. Time to Pound almost able to hit that 200-point marker.
Yeah, NonStop though, they've once again stolen it back in their hands, and that's a great thing. As long as they're not going to let the players of Time to Pound reach that 200 marker, that's going to stop that confidence that will be oozing through their veins. But still, Time to Pound, they're going to make sure that they will reach that 200 points marker. But NonStop, they're constantly over here to try and pound down the players of Time to Pound. You can see Progressive, the only man towards the hard point, but Le Mans, he finds a nice two-piece as he neutralizes the entire control the players of Time to Pound had on this hard point. The next point's also going to pop up soon, Johnny, and this hard point control is going to mean so much to the players of NonStop if they do want to find the equalizer.
Oh man, I almost thought that Time to Pound would be able to cross 200, but now they've finally done it. NonStop, they're putting up a tough fight, but still lagging slightly behind against the side of Time to Pound. And this is what I want to talk about. A lot more options available for the side of Time to Pound. They had a few extra operator skills up until the previous hard point. They had utilized a lot of them, but they still have one more left on Abyss. And it's about those score streaks as well. When do they come online? It's very critical. But look at this. NonStop, they've caught up Necro. 195, 196, 197. Do they actually get it? No, it is still being contested. Finally, they move up, and the score, it seems like it's going to be tied up soon. Oh my God. And here it is, NonStop. They're back in the fight and in the lead.
NonStop's taking the lead, and I think they're going to run away with this one. Time to Pound's not able to find any sort of spacing on this hard point, and that's not really a great thing for Time to Pound. Just look at the players of NonStop farming kills after kills, and soon enough, they're also going to have the operator skills once again back on the board, so that's going to be a demise for the players of Time to Pound. Time to Pound needs to do something. They need to at least get some sort of a semblance. They need to have that stability on the hard point. If they're not able to find that as soon as possible, one thing is for sure, NonStop's going to run away with the advantage.
Completely agree with you on that, Necro. They need to regroup. They need to stick together because non-stop, they've built up too much pressure by now. Random, he's trying his level best to stay alive on this hard point, and he's secured a lot of kills as well by just staying here, getting here early. He has gotten his team a little bit closer, just 10 points separating the two sides. But now, what is going to happen? Master moves in, and it is going to be time to pound. Somehow, they do manage to stop non-stop in their tracks. But Cosmo, here comes the equalizer. It's going to be an important skill, and this will give them so much pressure on this hard point, so much control, but no value gained by Cosmo. The equalizer does not get a single kill, although he does find Random around the corner, gets taken out. Master from the side of Time to Pound is going to get finished off as well. It's 224 to 216. This game is still very close.
This game is way too intense. 226 to 218. Time to Pound and once again get the hard point control back in their hands. A final few scraps in their hands, but that's where non-stop, they're playing for the big game. They've already got the proactive control towards the upcoming hard point, and that's where the players of Time to Pound, now they need to shatter the defense that the players of non-stop has put up, and that's where maybe Time to Pound's going to start to struggle. They do not have any sort of operator skills up, but on this other side, non-stop, they've got 2 operator skills up on the board. Griffin already pops his Sparrow, so at this point in time, Time to Pound, they need to make the most out of this entire operator skill they've popped.
Well, let's see though, 226, 232, this is it. This could be the last push. These teams get an opportunity to make 36 seconds remain, and this time it is going to be non-stop who have managed to regain control of the hardpoint for the next few seconds, so they will be able to catch up against the side of Time to Pound, but 2 players moving in. Griffin needs to find the double. He does not. The wall of smoke separating the two sides, and as soon as the players of Time to Pound climb up, they get finished off. 236 to 232, one after the other. Players of Time to Pound, they are just struggling to not allow non-stop to move any further, but it's 242 to 232. Non-stop very close.
Oh my God, the
Nine
Purifier!
seconds remaining, and the Purifier comes out, but it is going to get shut down very quickly as well. But Time to Pound now stuck in cracks, and we are back moving towards P1 Necro, 241 to 243, and this is going to be the last team fight of the game.
This is way too close. Non-stop, they've already timed things up, and that's a great thing, because at the start, Time to Pound was the one to run away with the lead, but now non-stop realizes one single mistake, and instantly this first hard point will be taken away from them, and then they would need to try their best on Search and Destroy, and that's where maybe Time to Pound can have the upper edge, but non-stop, they've already done it. 250 marker reached in this first map of Hardpoint. What a game that was. My heartbeat was rising up every single minute.
Oh man, that was intense. Such a tough fight from both these two sides, and I'm very impressed, I mean, with both these two teams. As you mentioned, Necro, this hardpoint was going to be about firepower. Time to putting up a tough fight, but non-stop, definitely. Cosmos, Smitty doing so well for them, Smells, and Smitty in particular, man, 47 kills on Smitty before the end. Limon as well, I think he was sitting at like 49 or 50 kills in total, and these two individuals were so on point, precise with their aim today. But apart from that, I think what mattered towards the end was the timing of those operator skills. The utilization from non-stop, just a little bit better than Time to Pound.
Honestly speaking, the only big difference maker were the operator skills, because they were the only one which was able to find the multi-kills after multi-kills. Because normally, if you try and look at things, it was way too back and forth. It was way too indecisive. We did not even know who's going to be the one to come through victorious, because Time to Pound, for one instance, they would get the control in their hands, but then in the other instance, it would be the players non-stop instantly snatching it away. But still, off the rip with how things kicked off, non-stop were not able to find that group. They were not able to find that momentum. But later on, as the game kept on going on, it felt like the players non-stop realized what mistakes they were making.
Well, I think in terms of the mistakes, I think they were very minute, man, just details, just minor details separating the two sides. But let's see how things are going to turn out from here on out. I think because next it is going to be Search and Destroy. You have a little bit more breathing room to work with over there, and then eventually we will move on to Control. But what an intense game for sure. Because look at this, every single time. I mean, it started off with Time to Pound with a slight lead, non-stop took an advantage, Time to Pound fighting back, and then this happens. Last few seconds of the game, moving back towards P1, and non-stop get there first. Time to Pound were too busy fighting them for passive control for that balcony area, and non-stop were like, yeah, we're not going to worry about that, we're just going to move in and take the game.
It was a proper team effort from both the sides. It was so close. Abyss 2 getting 45, Master as well getting 45. There's not really that big of a difference in the scoreboard. And the same thing can be said for non-stop as well. Lemon's got 52, Smitty's got 50. complete firepower-oriented lineup this time around. Got a reality check by the players of Time to Pound, but still, Search and Destroy is where maybe Time to Pound can have the upper edge.
I think so too. I think in terms of tacticality, in terms of experience, Time to Pound do have a much stronger team. But NonStop, with this momentum, I mean, all they have to do is just figure out some cheeky strats. You remember that 5-man stack we saw yesterday, right? They have to do that 7 times in a row. Figure out 7 unique strategies just to beat Time to Pound and walk away with a 2-0. Now the question is, can NonStop actually, do they have those aces up their sleeves? I mean, I know a deck of cards will only have 4, but they're going to need 7 to win.
I would say just be the Accelerate, man. Just play the way Accelerate likes to play it. Rely on their firepower completely. Move on. Just smash through the defensive walls that the opponents will try to put up. Considering it is the map of Tenacia as well, you would not really want the opponents to have that breathing room.
Yeah, hey man, Xtinx did give us a masterclass on how to snipe on this map yesterday. You remember that?
Of course I do, Johnny. I mean, Xtinx was one of those players that really came through with some miraculous plays, those heroic moments that we saw from him in the past. Now, let's just hope that Xtinx is not going to pop off the same way this time around.
I mean, yeah, hopefully. I mean, he's not there, right? Everyone's going to be hoping that when they're facing him, he won't be playing the same. But hey, NonStop versus Time to Pound. NonStop already a game up, and now Time to Pound. This is something that I think no one expected, and even Time to Pound weren't expecting to be in a position like this, that after the first mode was done, they are going to be struggling or fighting for survival. But let's see how now things are going to turn out. NonStop on defense, Time to Pound on attack, and it just seems like Time to Pound, they're taking their sweet time. Look at how passive their approach is. Look at where they're positioned right now on the map.
Even the same thing can be said for the side of NonStop. There's heavy presence on the A side, and towards the opposite, which is the B side, there's only one player, Karma. Let's just hope if it is going to be a B rush, then Karma's ready for what's on the verge. And Grip gets taken down. The man was a little bit too aggressive. Not a big fan of that move, honestly speaking, especially on the defense when you do not know the information on what exactly is happening on the map. Lemon misses that crucial shot, and he would need to pay the price for that. How did Random even win that fight? Still big question marks in my head. Speaking of the defensive side of things, there's a big chance they can come through victorious. Karma misses the first shot, but he instantly connects the second one. So Griffin gets taken down eventually. Both the players, they've got the sniper in the hands. Considering it is a 2-on-1, NonStop, they've got the man advantage.
They do have the man advantage to work with. Progressive, last man left, and somehow does manage to jump on towards side, but he's been spotted out. Unfortunately for him, he has to go up against those 2 snipers. Oh, Karma gets taken out. Progressive now has an opportunity to steal the round away. Last man spotted out as well. Lemon, though, has been a key playmaker for his team. Even in the previous mode, he was the big difference maker. 13 seconds left. The bomb right there on side, and Progressive, he's out on a hunt. Finally decides to move in. 7 seconds remaining, and the bomb yet to be planted. Finally goes for the plant, and Lemon.
Oh my god. He did get the bomb planted just...
Split second, man. Split second.
In milliseconds. Luckily enough, he did not run out of time. Imagine one single misclick, and the round would have been done in the favor of NonStop. Progressive, the man's picked up the sniper. And even Lemon is moving up close and personal. Oh, what a quick scope that was. Lemon slaps Progressive back to his spawn.
How do you react like that, man? That was inhuman. I thought Progressive was going to win that duel based on where Lemon was rooking, but no. Mid-slide just shoots him right in the chest, takes him out. Nothing taken away from... Yeah.
Honestly speaking, Lemon needed to hit that shot because the amount of shots he missed in that previous round, now that's going to be the equalizer.
Why? Yeah, I mean, that was a redemption-worthy shot, but why you got to do him dirty like that, Necro?
If you would have missed that shot as well, then that would have been definitely one of those plays where everyone would have blamed that one person.
Yeah, man, it's like us, right? We always miss all the easy shots, connect all the difficult ones, but hey, what just happened to Abyss? It completely melts.
Nicely done by Encrypt, though, so that's a great thing. Looking at NonStop, at least they're able to win the duels. And that's really keeping the players of Time to Pound in a big state of discomfort. What a shot that was from Master. Didn't even see that coming. But Master definitely knew exactly where to pre-fire. as he shuts down the first man on the side itself. And now someone down line, Time to Pound should have an idea what the ideal setup looks like for NonStop. They've only got one man towards the B side, while the rest, they always like to play on A. But Lamont's able to find Progressive, and that's going to give the advantage back in the hands of NonStop.
Yeah, and the players from Time to Pound, all of them just playing that crossfire on towards side. Random, he is going to be the key playmaker. He needs to find his first kill and shut down the retake from the side of NonStop. And whoa, Lemon, that slow peek not working out. And the 3 lads from the side of Time to Pound do manage to steal the round away. Nicely done.
I can already tell. We might just go to OT. If this keeps on going the same way, we might just go to overtime.
Yeah, man, I agree to that. I think with how things turned out on Hardpoint, I think an overtime is definitely going to be something that even I expect.
The utilities they're tossing onto each other, and none of them is able to find any sort of value. This time around, it's quite a quick rush towards B, because they realize there's only one man playing towards the B side, so you might as well try to make it up close and personal. And already Abyss is able to find an insane amount of value. The man already finds a nice 2-piece on the board, a 3-on-5 to be made from the side of NonStop. Can they really make this comeback happen? The chances, they're pretty low. But NonStop, we know what the boys are capable of. Last time around when they walked in towards this site, it was a complete meat grinder. And right now as well, something tells me it's not going to be any different.
Oh, Griffin and Abyss. A complete shutdown. I mean, now this was an easy round, or at least the side of Time to Pound made it look easy, getting those crucial frags for themselves. And this is now, it seems like Lemon single-handedly doing a lot of heavy lifting for his team again, even on Search and Destroy. None of things are going to work out, especially if you're facing off against a team like T2P. But look at this now. An all-out A assault coming in from Time to Pound. And oh, Crypt finds 2 Random getting the trade. But this could be the round that NonStop were hoping for. Maybe not. Progressive. Shutdown on Cosmo.
The equalizer from Progressive was desperately needed, but he also finds Karma, so now that's a big problem for NonStop. Just the last 2 remaining players, and it feels like even they're going to get pushed on. I love this setup from the side of Time to Pound. They're playing it so proactive. They know exactly what's on the verge of happening. Smitty might just catch the first player off guard, and that's what exactly happens. Smitty's got his hands on the pump shotgun, and he finds the second one as well. Progressive as well, shut down by Smitty. And now Random's going to be the last man standing with Odin in his hands. He will shut down Smitty.
3, 2, 1, Time to Pound, still in the driving seat of this game. All of those early frags, still nothing gained from NonStop. After Crypt was able to kick things off with that 2K, I expected them to actually be the ones controlling pace of the round, but did not really work out. Look at this, the first duel is going to be an important one. This time again, Crypt finds the early kill, gets traded out though.
With how things are panning out right now, Johnny, NonStop, at least they're having a bit of that advantage in this round.
Yeah.
2-4. And this advantage, it needs to be converted. NonStop cannot mess up anymore. And that's the crazy part. Time to Pound, these 2 players, they have enough capability of turning this 2v4 into a complete victory. And that's what it feels like is on the verge of happening. At least Karma was able to find one, so now that's going to be the advantage setter for the players of NonStop. And unfortunately, the last man, Master, had no clue where he was walking.
It almost slipped out of the hands, the round. Almost slipped out of the hands of NonStop. Luckily, Master was looking somewhere else entirely. I think he just expected the players of NonStop to rotate wide, but wasn't the case. Very close match between these 2 sides, 3-2, and that last round, I mean, an important play coming in from Crypt, Smitty following up. Oh no, look towards B, neck road, deep push comes in, Smitty gets punished, and the advantage in the hands of Time to Pound now.
Smitty taken down. Time to Pound really good with converting the advantages off the rip. But Karma's able to find Master, and that's quite an important pick. Cosmo as well shuts down Abyss instantly. But unfortunately, Cosmo's taken down low himself. And Cosmo needs to find that little bit of a breather. Progressive, the amount of room this man has found is already roaming all the way in the back. And Cosmo's got no clue where Progressive is. And just look at this entire frag that's going to come through. Cosmo is able to shut down Griffin, but still the sight's in the hands of Time to Pound.
It's Lemon versus Random. And Lemon's not on the sniper this round. Random's going to he will have to be extremely careful. He goes for the plant. But still a much better situation compared to how things began, Necro. This time it is down to a 1v1. Oh no, this read. He knows exactly where it's coming from, but looks away at the wrong time.
He's got the
Lemon connects.
Oh, that flick was nice, that micro flick. But still, Lemon with the sniper. Now he's starting to get riled up, Johnny. And that's where Extincts now needs to pop off.
Lemon is never going to miss a shot like that, man. Random, just that off timing. That was just unlucky. He looked away at the worst possible time. I thought he was going to stay there. His crosshair pin. Just an extra second. He would have had that kill.
Johnny, Master is one of those players. We haven't really seen the proper form from Master in this game. He's capable of pulling off some insane plays all by himself, honestly. But this time around, NonStop being on the attack, you can see how quick they are taking the site. And this is what I'm exactly saying. On the attack, it really allows the players of NonStop to be more aggressive. And that's what they're completely relying on. This aggression, it grants them the site control. But NonStop is still not being too proactive, taking the site control all the way in the back lines. Cosmo's taken down pretty low, and slowly and steadily, the players of Time to Pound, they're starting to wrap up in the site. Smitty and Cosmo, they want to play with a bit of that crossfire, but Time to Pound as well. They've got some evil plans in their mind. 2-on-3 can be easily converted. A big mess up from the side of Lemon, but it's completely fine. Smitty's got his team's back.
He does find that frag and the round for his team. And I think they were just afraid of the snipers moving forward. They knew what was waiting them around the corner. But still, 4 rounds secured by NonStop, 3 by Time to Pound. And again, let's not forget NonStop. They are going to look for a quick 2-0 in this series. After winning that Hardpoint and having gained the advantage on that overall leaderboard. But look at this. Deep control of that A side coming in from Time to Pound, and NonStop are going to be caught completely off guard. Random and Griffin, 2 kills secured. Cosmo with a trade, and Crip nullifies the advantage. It's down to a 3v3 again.
That was beautiful stuff, but there's a man wrapping up all the way from the back, and this lurk, this flank can be big. If he's able to find some sort of value with this lurk, then that will be important, but unfortunately he was just able to find one, instantly gets traded 2. He should have at least got away with 2, Johnny.
2 versus 2 though. NonStop, they are split. Time to Pound on the hunt together. The bomb being brought towards that B site. They do not really have that site control, and look at where Abyss is positioned. Should be able to get a read on this play, but no. Time to Pound starts second-guessing themselves, re-clearing towards A. Allowing NonStop to move towards B, get the plant in. And if these lads find that deep position, oh no! Abyss whiffs the spray, and now information gained by the players of NonStop. Abyss dropped extremely low. Master, he needs to survive, he needs to win this duel, but he's going to be shut down. And Abyss is left in a 1v2. I think NonStop is going to take away this round as well, Necro.
NonStop is starting to grip their hands around the neck of Time to Pound. If NonStop wins this is going to be a great momentum setter for NonStop. And Time to Pound, this will be a momentum breaker. Somehow, Time to Pound needs to win this, but we pretty much knew what the outcome was going to look like. And now NonStop, they have won that previous round, so that's going to give the players of NonStop 5 rounds on the board. Already a decent enough lead for NonStop to capitalize and keep moving on.
I mean, yeah, 2-round advantage does relieve some pressure, gives them a little bit room for error to work with, but still, it is Time to Pound on the other side. Abyss looking for the aggressive fight down mid, but there's no one there. NonStop, it's an all-out assault towards B, and that gives them the first frag of the round. Progressive out of the picture. It's a quick rotation coming in from Time to Pound to defend that B side. Now they are getting aggressive. Now they want to take the fight head on. NonStop. 1 man down. Crypt is going to be picked off.
Time to pound. They've woken up late, but at least they have woken up, so that's a great thing. But Karma, one single man is clearing out the entirety of the backside, and he's already lined the players up, stacking them up on top of each other. And now the backside looks like a graveyard. Griffin, though, he's still taking down Lamont, and Griffin is still alive, by the way, so this can be a major flipper.
Yeah.
The man in the back line as well gets taken down. Griffin, solid stuff. One man clutching out the round for his team, and this was desperately needed too. Now, NonStop's morale, the mental, it's going to be broken.
Yeah, I mean, they needed a play like this to bring themselves back mentally and to bring themselves back into the game, and Griffin has made sure that his team is still in for the fight. But that has to be a tough loss for NonStop, man. Karma getting shut down, and Smitty, I don't know why he was thrown out, like out into the open.
You thought that maybe he can catch the man off guard with an off angle?
Yeah, I think he just fully committed to that one fight. He was confident that he would be able to take down Griffin, but that did not work out. But Karma, and the favor is repaid by Random. 2 insane sniper shots, one after the other.
The quick snaps. Lamont is only going to be the man who is towards this area. Was peeking out constantly, challenging the duels. He wants to take those as well. Considering he is the sniper, it's his job to find his team the advantage, and that's what he does. But that advantage instantly gets neutralized, because things are looking pretty back and forth. It's trades just happening back and forth at this point, and NonStop is desperate to constantly have that advantage in the scoreboard as well. That 2 rounds lead that NonStop loves to have. And if NonStop gets this round in their hands, they're also going to have the map advantage and also the series advantage. A few shots missed from Random, but eventually shuts down Lamont. Lamont was not able to find the quick scope this time around. It's a 2-on-1. Smitty, the only man left standing. Is Smitty really going to be able to pull off the big play and catch the players off guard? Because both the players from the side of Time to Pound, they know exactly where Smitty's going. This read is going to be perfect.
1 versus 2 situation, so it's not going to be easy for Smitty for sure. And as you mentioned, the read from Time to Pound, they expect him to come towards A, and then that is exactly where he's going.
Oh my god.
Oh no, Griffin just drops right at his face. Smitty is going to run into the corner, but he does not have time. It's a 1v2. Random just drops as a distraction, but no, with a pistol just finishes him off. And Necro, the scoreline is tied up all again.
I told you at the start of the search and destroy, for some reason I've got a feeling we might just go to overtime.
Yeah.
But I love the fact that Time to Pound weren't really too overconfident, knowing the fact that they still have the man advantage. Instead, they played with the time. And as soon as they realized that there's only 12 seconds left on the clock, they jumped out, and they were not really giving those extra peeks to the man who was alive from the side of NonStop. And Karma, once again, looking to find that cheeky frag. Few spams from Master, but this time around, those spams are really not going to find any sort of entrance, any sort of glimmer. Random as well, just spamming through both the teams. They're desperate to find at least the first opener. And as I mentioned, being the sniper, you need to be the one to find the advantage to your team. The first kill, first opener on the site. That's what you need to find. Karma is looking to find that, but unfortunately, Lamont gets struck down by Griffin. So that's a really good thing. Now Time to Pound. They're the one with the advantage. A 4 and 5 on the board for now.
Numbers advantage. And Time to Pound know how to build up pressure along with this. But the players from NonStop, they are looking to rotate towards that B side. Abandoning A completely. And look at this. Karma has been left towards spawn. I think they are expecting some deep counter push from the side of Time to Pound. But that's not happened yet. Time to Pound have been quite linear with how they retake sites after losing control, with how they've been playing defense.
Master's not able to find that connection, but Encrypt, he definitely does with the Fennec. The man is pushing him close and personal. He's got no fear. Cosmo from the back is making sure all the bait that one single man in the front setting up. Cosmo's taking full potential of that and moving forward. Encrypt is already in the back lines. He's going to backstab one of the players as Random gets shut down as well. And Abyss, he's going to shut down Encrypt in return. Trades happening back and forth, but still for some reason NonStop, they're not good at capitalizing.
6-5, Time to Pound. Done a brilliant job. bring themselves back into this matchup, but can they close it out right here? Big opportunity. That play from Crypt, getting that trade, it was an important one, but NonStop unable to capitalize. Again, looking to move towards that A side, but it's always been stacked, and especially the big threat towards A. It's going to be Random. Man, look at that. 17 kills secured by the sniper.
Look at the cheeky angle Progressive is holding. He's just waiting for one little pixel peek, and that comes through. Lemon instantly gets wrapped up in his sheet and sent back. And the same thing happens with Cosmo as well. Already the deadly duo is not in the game anymore, but Smitty maybe he's trying his best to get things back into control. But even that gets denied, considering Karma gets picked off. A 2-on-4. Johnny, at this point in time, we pretty much know what the outcome's going to look like. A heavy man advantage stacked with the players at time to pound. And Random, a sniper still alive in the back lines. Still somehow Encrypt was able to get Griffin. So that's quite an important pick. It's going to bring things down to a 1-on-3. But still, just one single man standing against 3 players at time to pound. And time to pound pulling off such a great feat. They've already got the win in their sails. Oh my God.
One last man left, Crypt. He's stuck in a 1v3, man. Brings it down to a 1v2. Spots out one more, but the shutdown comes in, and time to pound. Still in it for the fight. Somehow, what a comeback win, man. I thought NonStop was will be able to close out the series on Search and Destroy, but hey, time to pound. We know when things are slow, that is when they are playing at their best.
Honestly speaking, listen, I knew that this is going to be a team-mapper, but for some reason I think NonStop is going to be the one to come through victorious. Now,
really?
I do understand I've been sticking with the players of NonStop for a long time, but there's a reason for it, man. Now the upcoming map is going to be Control, and Control is pretty much like Hardpoint. And that's why NonStop, I think they're going to prevail because, once again, the firepower really comes into play. But if you're trying to speak of the tactical stuff, that's where time to pound really takes the lead. And we all saw this victory coming through.
Yeah, I really think that can happen, man. I mean, I believe you now. NonStop, I think, just because it's Control and NonStop play around well with aggression, I think they can walk away with a win. But what an intense series, Necro. You can't deny. I mean, both these teams are playing their best, and I'm just so glad that, you know what, we get to see all of this on LAN as well.
Imagine a matchup between Accelerate and Godlike. We all have been waiting for such a long time. That will be happening as well, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. We all are waiting for that matchup. And imagine a matchup between Time to Pound and Anthem. Both these teams are supposed to be the big brainers. Even that's going to be quite a close matchup.
Yeah, it is definitely going to be quite a close series, man. But this was intense. And again, from the side of Time to Pound, I mean, huge props to Random. He did a lot of heavy lifting, Griffin as well, in a lot of important rounds. And from the side of NonStop, Crypt with those finding those trades, finding those mid-round kills. I think he was the one who kept the rounds extremely close between both these two teams. But still, in the end, the team play from the side of Time to Pound was a little bit stronger. And of course, Random was also on fire. I do not know why there was a lot of attempt made towards that A side when you knew there was going to be a stag there, and especially Random was going to be waiting for you on the other side. The approaches toward B worked out a lot more better for the side of NonStop, but let's see. I mean, still, Control, it is going to be intense, and you never know. You know what, Necro, as you said, NonStop, they are a little bit strong in terms of firepower, but let's not forget, Hardpoint was extremely close, man.
It was extremely close. The only reason why I'm favoring the players of NonStop and Control is because it's all down to the respawns. Usually the teams don't even go for the control on the point itself. They will just try to make sure that the opposition team exhausts of their respawns, and as soon as that happens, they're going to be the one to come through victorious. And NonStop, one thing is for sure, they're directly going to try to rush on their faces and try and get something done. The only reason why I felt like NonStop weren't really able to come through as the victors on the attacking side of things is because they were overthinking a little bit too much, and you saw NonStop playing so slow.
Yeah. I mean, they were playing extremely slow, but that's not their style as well. But let's see. Here we go. Control begins, and both the teams, again, fighting for control already. We have this time to pound, in fact, with a slight advantage, but it instantly gets taken away. Although they are fighting for objective a little bit better than NonStop, Necro.
They indeed are. And look at the kill feed, too. It's so back and forth. And once again, Cosmo, too, steps inside of the playing field, gets a few more frags on the board for himself. And looking at how things are panning out as well, one thing is for sure, NonStop, they do have a bit of that lead, but just one respawn lead is not enough. NonStop, they need to make sure that the opposition, they're going to exhaust on their respawns as soon as possible. And that's what NonStop is known for. With the aggression, with the firepower they possess, they need to make sure that Time to Pound will be struggling to even breathe.
Oh, well. Struggling to breathe, struggling to survive, and NonStop, they have gained the edge that they wanted, and now Time to Pound, as you mentioned, feeling a little bit of pressure, 21-18. NonStop started using this objective as a bait, man. They just, they are, look at it, they're just hurting the players of Time to Pound inside of that kill zone.
He's already lost. NonStop desperately needs to start popping off now. 21-16, considering they've already got a big respawn lead. You can't see the players of Time to Pound. They're really taking this slow. They're taking their time, and that's the problem. NonStop should not let the players of Time to Pound understand what they're trying to bring on the board. NonStop should be a little bit more aggressive. If Time to Pound keeps them playing it super slow, they will understand how to counter the players NonStop. And NonStop, they need to maintain that surprise angle that they have every single time inside of a game. And look at Time to Pound, Johnny. They're starting to run away with the control. This is not looking good. NonStop, they need to step on the point right now, and that's what they exactly do. Karma and Lamad, man, it was an absolute annihilation on that point.
Oh boy, 13-10, still very close between these two sides, and Time to Pound once again focusing on the objective that NonStop, they show up to contest it as well. It's all going to be down to those frag numbers. It's all going to be down to those respawns, as you said, Necro. And with that respawn counter in the favor of the side of NonStop, I think they can definitely secure the win. But Time to Pound slowing things down again, just waiting for an opportunity strike. They do not want to make any more mistakes. They do not want to lose any more control inside of this match.
NonStop, they've already got the field set up on the point itself.
Oh no! Spawn trap! They're hoping for a spawn trap now. Necro, look at what Time to Pound is doing on the map.
Oh, this is brilliant. They're moving all the way to the back lines, and that's what they're exactly doing, exhausting the lifelines of NonStop.
Yeah.
And we never saw this coming. And they've also pulled out the heavy investments, by the way, instantly. Oh my God, this was brilliant from the side of Time to Pound. The only thing that's going to rule out the firepower of NonStop is a big brain play, and that's what Time to Pound brought.
That is very difficult to execute, but the timing of that was so perfect and on control as well, man. That was a risky play. It was an all or nothing moment from the side of Time to Pound. Ooh, to make a call like that in a situation like this, you have to. That was a ballsy move, I'm not gonna lie, but things like that are also what forced NonStop to choke a little bit, but let's see how things are going to turn out right now. The game's still very close between these two sides. Point A captured by NonStop without even breaking a sweat, so it's going to be them who return the favor right now.
NonStop starting to struggle. 25-25 now. At least they were able to find the equalizer. And honestly speaking, it's such a slow control. Both the teams are taking their time.
Yeah.
But that's the problem. As I mentioned, NonStop should not let the players of Time to Pound half this time. And that's what exactly happened in the previous round. The players of NonStop let the players of Time to Pound have too much time, and that's why they wrapped all the way in the back and got a trap. But now for NonStop, they have learned from their past mistake. They are going for the heavy investments, but unfortunately, those investments are not really able to find the value that it's supposed to. And NonStop now is starting to choke. It's the pressure that's building up, and the momentum for the side of Time to Pound, it seems a little bit too strong.
Well, let's see. A little too strong for NonStop to deal with, and we all know if NonStop fall back, or if they give them a little bit of map control as well, then the spawn trap is going to happen again. And I think Time to Pound are setting it up. Look at where Griffin is on the map. He's going to try and build up a little bit of pressure, gain the control from that right-hand side, and slowly and steadily help his teammates move towards the spawn of NonStop. And they've already gained more than the access to more than half the map. Griffin is still there, and he has bought his team so much time for that B point. It's 12-18, Time to Pound with a big lead inside this game. NonStop trying the same strategy. Look at where Cosmo is moving right now.
I think it's done, Johnny. NonStop is now starting to second-guess themselves, and they do not exactly know how to counter the setups that Time to Pound is bringing on the board.
Yeah.
These little cheeky angles, they're really starting to make a big difference. Maybe now it can be the table turner we all have been waiting for. All the players NonStop, they barge in at the same time. And maybe the players of Time to Pound now won't have any answer, and that's what exactly happens. NonStop, they're starting to rack up these kills, but still the players of Time to Pound, they're able to get away with a few more, and Griffin, he finds a major 3-piece on the board, and that's just going to keep the players of NonStop for respawns.
Oh boy, I mean, just 3 respawns remaining. I think Time to Pound, as you mentioned, it was already over a few moments ago. Last 2 players remain, and yeah, there's absolutely no comeback in this particular match, so it's going to be a 2-0 in the favor of Time to Pound. And NonStop, yeah, I don't think they do well under pressure, so I think this series, as far as control goes, it is going to be secured by Time to Pound, and a comeback, it's going to be very difficult, man.
And now the sides are going to be switched.
Yeah, doesn't matter. There are 4 operator skills on them right now at this very start.
You got a point. The only way NonStop can win somehow is by winning every single possible duel they take. The chances of that happening are pretty low, considering you speak of the momentum, and already that momentum is favoring the players of Time to Pound. And look at what's happening. Off the rip, they use every single operator skill they've got lined up. Claw was used, even the War Machine was utilized. Abyss as well, he pulls out the big guns himself. And now for Time to Pound, they've already found the big advantage that they were looking for. And for some reason, NonStop, they're choking things up big time. Even that Sparrow was pulled out, and that Sparrow was not able to get anything done. Just one single frag, that's it. NonStop.
Time to Pound is building up pressure on both the control points at the same time. They have a little bit of control of B as well, but that's been taken away because Progressive was forced all the way back. Although he did manage to save his operator skill, and Random has a score streak available as well. But Time to Pound, look at their position on the map now. All of a sudden just playing extremely weird, sticking towards that right-hand side. And now, are they getting spawn trapped? Is that what NS is trying to do?
Maybe. And it's just trying to flip the odds and make sure that they're going to give the opponents a taste of their own medicine. But Time to Pound is someone that's not going to let that happen to them.
Yeah.
The experience really oozes through this time around. But there's one snake in the back, and he is unspotted. And he strikes with a perfect time. Unfortunately, Cosmo is only able to find a 2-piece. After that, he gets picked off. One crucial operator skill was used in that instance, but it's still 19-19. It's super close.
It's extremely close between the two sides. 18-18. Operator skills still available for the side of NonStop. I think they're going to try and win this one without using too many operator skills. Maybe just one to close out this match, get that one on the board, and maybe in the next one they are going to bring the other 2 for the equalizer. 18-4, and Time to Pound slowly and steadily backing off from that control point. There's a loose straggler between them. Smitty running around, causing a big distraction.
NonStop has got a heavy advantage right now. 3 respawns lead. And slowly and steadily, that lead is being neutralized, so that's not a good thing. NonStop is making rookie mistakes, and they keep on making those rookie mistakes, and that's a big problem. The trade-offs are looking pretty perfect from Time to Pound, and this is where the team communication and the team synergy really pops through for Time to Pound. 11-10, now Time to Pound, they've got the lead on the respawns. Just 9 respawns left in the hands of NonStop, and keep this thing in mind as well. They're running away with the control on the B. And especially looking at the Annihilator as well. Oh, man. The amount of kills this man is able to find, it's crazy. And yes, it will be Time to Pound to come through victorious. I thought it was going to be the place of NonStops to win this entire thing, to win this entire series. But Time to Pound, with their big brain moves this time around, they have proven me wrong.
Well, it was very impressive, man. This was one of the most intense matches I think we witnessed, and we expected it to be an intense one between these two teams, to be honest. That is why we were so hyped about today. Today is filled with a lot of star-studded matches, and I think these two teams, huge props to them. Best of luck for that LAN finale, because both of them are going to be moving forward to LAN as well. But they have perfectly set the tone for the entire day, Necro.
They indeed have. And looking at the highlights too, it was so back and forth. Especially if you try and speak of the control map, man, it was way too close. Even control and hardpoint, way too intense. You can't really take search and destroy away as well, because even that was quite back and forth. The only time NS really started choking things up in search and destroy is when they started taking things really slow. And that's when NS was not able to find that groove that they're known for. And especially you speak inside of control, for some reason, Time to Pound with their big brain moves were able to catch the players of NonStop off guard.
Yeah, and especially towards the last few moments of the game, if you look at the map, the players from the side of Time to Pound just completely backed off. They gave NonStop breathing room. They were like, all right, you guys want to regroup here. Once you are here, we'll clean all of you up in one go, take that control point and secure the series. And again, brilliantly done, well executed. It seemed like they came prepared, but again, it was firepower against tactics, and I think Time to Pound just proving they are the ones making all of the big brain plays.
Yeah, Time to Pound, nothing taken away. They do have quite a nice firepower too, but let's be honest, the firepower that NonStop possesses, for some reason I still think they've got a little bit of more of that. The only reason why Time to Pound won is because of the sheer experience the boys have. Now, we have seen Abyss, Griffin, Random, Progressive, these guys play for such a long time in the pro circuit, but if you're trying to speak the same about the players NonStop, quite the newer faces on the block, so you can give them a little bit of that time to nourish.
What are you talking about experience, right? The biggest example was that spawn trap. Because going for a spawn trap when you are at a deficit, and the way they executed as well, they left one player on control and 4 players ran towards the spawn of NonStop, just blocking that access to move inside of the map. And they just stayed there for so long. It was, I think it was 13 respawns for NonStop to 9 respawns for Time to Pound. And when the game ended, it was 0 respawns for NonStop, 7 remaining for Time to Pound. They threw everything at them, man. Just lobbing out nades, trophy systems for no reason. Just doing whatever inside of that spawn area. Just making sure that NonStop could not move a single step further. And that was such a risky move that NonStop did not expect it. And to be honest, something like that happens to you, your morale breaks. And I think that is when you just struggle to make those clear decisions. And that happened to NonStop as well. Because at one point, I think it was the second last match when it was 1-0, the very next mode after that, when NonStop tried to go for a spawn trap, but it was very weird because they just pushed forward with 2 players. Luckily, Smitty stayed alive for a long time, but yeah, him alone is not going to accomplish anything. You need 3 to 4 players, at least 3 over there.
That was like a mental breaker for NonStop. As soon as they got spawn trapped, NonStop knew that, okay, they're getting fiddled around a little bit too much. And the only reason why Time to Pound had a chance to move on all the way back in the spawn is because NonStop was playing it too passive. They were just holding that point down because they knew Time to Pound was playing for the points control a little bit too much. And NonStop, they had the field set up, but they completely ignored the fact that they can be spawn trapped. And that's where Time to Pound just came through with a brilliant decision. And that was also, as you mentioned, a mental breaker for the boys. But honestly speaking, Johnny, it does not even matter. Both these teams have already made it to the grand finale, so it's completely fine. We know the match 2 as well, it was forfeited. Now the upcoming match is once again going to be played between Time to Pound and Godlike, and that will be super exciting one too, but I think so we all know what the outcome's going to look like.
Yeah, man, these are scrims that we are watching right now before the grand finale between these 3 teams. And yeah, this was an all-out scrim between these 2 sides, and the next one is going to be, that's going to be hype as well, man. Time to Pound NS was like this, and Time to Pound is all warmed up now going up against Godlike next.
They indeed are. It might just be super close too, man. I'm still expecting a 2-0 on the side of Godlike, but I'm still expecting quite the close affairs. I would love to see a few surprises. Before now, it's time for us to toss to a short break, and it's not a surprise.
The Snapdragon Pro Series is brought to you by Snapdragon Elite Gaming, Monster Energy, and DHL.
killing it since tip off. Come with it or stay home, the people gon' feel ripped off. It's only major leaguers in the office. If you giving half of an effort round the rest of us, you'll make it awkward. I'm about that action, not the one you talk with. You better hope I'm not the one your coach gon' have you out here really guarding. It took a lot for me to get here, but I have arrived. I really made it and the haters be looking surprised. Been down before, but now I'm better than I've ever been. Through all adversity, I saw that right down at the whatever the problem, we'll solve them. Make it through together, it'll be all love, it's all good. Yeah. Okay. They say pressure makes diamonds. That's what I align with, cause the journey I be climbing is riddled with perfect timing. I'm in a different mode when I be trying to get it. To even get a chance to compete is a form of winning. I mean, what's the point of playing if we ain't striving for greatness? I feel a sense of pride with every play that I'm making. To the top of the world when I came from the basement. Boy, I'm the one and not the two, so don't get it mistaken.
You waited all night for me to come back. Why'd you think that it's not alright? Told you that I'm not that type. Didn't mean to get you so excited. Tried to tell you not to fall in love. Why you always hit me uninvited? Just hoping you would get the picture. I've had enough. Now it's time for me to turn around. Thought you knew what this was.
The Snapdragon Pro Series is brought to you by Snapdragon Elite Gaming, Monster Energy, and DHL.
Considering the matchup between 5am and Godlike was forfeited by the players of Godlike, now we directly jump on to the third matchup of the day, which is going to be between Godlike and Time to Pound. So for Time to Pound, it's a non-stop game. One thing is for sure, the boys, their hands are warmed up. But Johnny, what do you expect? Once again, a one-sided beatdown, or do you think Time to Pound, they might just make it super close?
I think Time to Pound will make it super close, but that's not going to change the result that Godlike is going to walk away with a win. It might not be a 2-0, it might be a 2-1, but it's still going to be in the favor of Godlike. That's what I feel, because this team is like the strongest. They have to be the strongest team in the country for a long time, and if today Time to Pound can actually give us a surprise walk away with a win against Godlike, that's just going to be something else, man.
Godlike's made a statement a couple of days ago, and we pretty much know that they're going to try to take every single matchup that they play over here super serious. Now, we know for Godlike, this matchup does not even hold any value because they've already qualified to the LAN finale. And the same thing can be said even for the likes of Time to Pound. But still, man, it's the fight for the pride, right? You might as well try to prove that you're one of the best and try and make a stark statement and a stark difference on the board before you directly move on towards the challenge finals. And speaking of Godlike, let's move on towards the roster, and let's see who are going to be the playing five this time around. It's pretty much going to be the same boys: Learn, Skull G, Trunks, Abyss, and Neutrino.
Yeah, and this team is always deadly. I mean, we saw them in action yesterday as well. Just an absolute beatdown handed to the lads of Panda Express. But yesterday, one thing was displayed by Godlike, that they know how to have a little bit of fun as well. You remember those whackdowns? The only person I was a little upset with was Abyss, for some reason using a sniper when Cosmo on the other side was running around with a stick.
Yeah, I mean, for Godlike, listen, man, somewhere down line, we pretty much know that they are one of the most formidable forces. You cannot really forget about the past glory this team has achieved. And for some of the teams, as soon as they hear the name Godlike itself, this is also like a mental breaker for them, right? Imagine you're one of the newer teams stepping inside of the playing field, and you hear that you're going to face off against Godlike. That automatically puts on that unwanted pressure. But for Time to Pound, considering they have been there in the competitive scene for such a long time, as you mentioned, might be a 2-1, but still Godlike is supposed to be the one to come through victorious. But if it is actually going to be a 2-1 series at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure for Godlike players, it will be tough to digest.
Yeah, hey man, we are not being biased, right? I mean, this is just facts. I mean, Godlike not a little bit, have proven to be a lot stronger than everyone else time and time again. And I think that is what Time to Pound need to prove today. This is the match that I have been wanting to see since the announcements of the groups. And again, Time to Pound, they definitely have a lot of potential with them. Beating NS with the way that they did, they showed the tacticality is there, the firepower is there. Now is the real test. And again, as you mentioned before, right, not a lot on the line, so you can be a little bit more relaxed. Even if you get a loss right now, you still get the move towards that challenge finals on that LAN finale stage in Hyderabad and take on Godlike on that circuit. But let's see what the map veto is going to be like. Once again, Hacienda is going to be the map pick for Hardpoint, and this time it's going to be the lads from Godlike who come up with that pick. Search and Destroy on firing range, so we go to a standardized map, and then Control once again on Seaside.
The fact that Time to Pound actually goes for firing range and search and destroy, in my opinion, that's a little bit too much, because firing range is one of the most classic maps, and you saw yesterday what Godlike did to their opponents. So for Time to Pound, I'm not exactly sure this is a good pick, but once again, you're facing off against one of those teams that has already mastered all the maps, so it does not even matter. No matter what map you pick, they're going to be equally good. But Hacienda, one of the Godlike favorite maps, I would love to see how one-sided this map is going to look like.
I mean, I hope it's not one-sided. I hope it's as close as the one we saw before this, right? Because Time to Pound against NS, that also took place on Hacienda. It was a very close matchup, but Time to Pound weren't really able to secure that win. Against Godlike, things can get extremely difficult, but let's see. Here we go. The match is underway and already fighting for the control of P1.
Yeah, and speaking of P1 itself, Godlike already prevailing, especially inside of the kill feed, and that's why they're also getting a few of those points control as well. 2-1. Well, Time to Pound now, they've got the hard point control, so that's a good thing. Time to Pound, the players, they need to make sure, as long as they're getting the points flow in their hands, that's all that matters. Especially off the rip, if they do get a few extra points to kick things off and get that early lead established against Godlike, that can be morale breaker for the boys.
Well, let's see. It can be a morale breaker, but Time to Pound off to a decent start. But Godlike always do that. They like to rubber band inside of every single match that they play, and this time again. But look at the kill feed Necro. It's a complete back and forth between the two sides.
It indeed is a back and forth, but Abyss is able to find that player who was just standing right in the front. For Godlike, once again, it's going to be all about the redemption arc. They've already lost the lead, considering Time to Pound, they've got a significant amount of points lead on the scoreboard itself. And for Godlike, they're stuck on non-points. But as soon as I say so, they do get a final few scrappy points here and there, but the next hard point's already going to pop up. Godlike, they were pretty proactive towards that hard point as well, but the barge, the breach from the side of Time to Pound was pretty good.
Yeah, the breach was extremely well played, and Progressive already there waiting in a corner. He needs to find that multi-kill, but he gets shut down by Prevail. Abyss as well, taken out by Abyss. Griffin finds the trade for his team, and the back and forth begins. The fight for this P2, it's going to be the most important one. Godlike, they somehow do manage to regain control, and if they can stay here, then they can get themselves the equalizers and find themselves in the driving seat of this game. Neutrino finding the first, finding the second, an impressive 2K coming in for the IGL.
Neutrino learn starting to pop off. Even Trux is right there holding some of the off angles, and even he's able to get a few more players. Prevail! Does he spear 2 players on the side of Town to Pound? That's what I saw in the kill feed. And Prevail is not stopping anytime soon. Prevail is constantly shutting down a few more players. This man with the spear is now starting to prove out way too deadly. And Godlike, it feels like they're not even breaking a sweat anymore. For them to hold this garage hard point, it's a little bit too easy.
Yeah, again, the choke points, the crossfires that are set up become extremely difficult for everyone to beat, and that is what Godlike are showcasing over here. Here comes the Predator missile. It does find Random, so he's going to be out of the picture for the next few seconds, and Godlike already on the move for the next hard point, but it's going to be the side of Time to Pound who get there first, fighting for control. It's not going to be easy now. They bring themselves back into the game, not really allowing Godlike Esports to run away with the advantage, but learn he has that Sparrow in his hands. But look at that, a lot of operator skills available for Godlike. Neutrino is going to utilize his, tries to get a lot of value from that war machine, and he does find it as well, but finally the shutdown comes through, and Time to Pound, they've managed to stop Godlike in their tracks at least for a few seconds.
Yeah, for a few seconds, but those few seconds are not going to be enough considering Godlike, once again, they do get the points flow and the control of the hard point in their hands. They've still got 20 more seconds to go in the future, and as long as Time to Pound, they're going to keep on losing control of the hard point. Godlike, they will get the early control, and that's going to establish the early lead that Godlike's looking for. The multi-kills that Godlike's able to find, that needs to be stopped.
Yeah, that needs to be shut down, but I think now the momentum is completely in the favor of Godlike Esports. They have gained composure, and they've figured out how they want to shut down Time to Pound. Look at this, one player goes down, Trunks instantly pushes forward to find that trade, but Abyss, that cheeky angle helps him out. Even Prevail gets shut down. This is what Time to Pound were hoping for, but here comes the Sparrow from Led, and he gets to the cleanup. It's extremely well executed, and Godlike Esports showcasing what they're made of. It might be a slight lead, but Time to Pound are feeling the pressure inside of this game.
For a moment, we thought Godlike once again got the grip back on that hard point, but the players of Time to Pound, they were super proactive, and even they're starting to make some heavy investments on the board. Random pulls out the Annihilator, Progressive pulls out the Equalizer, and now they're starting to mop the floor up with the bodies of Godlike. But even Griffin pulls out the Sparrow now. Every single thing has been put on the board over here from the side of Time to Pound because they want to neutralize the lead that the players of Godlike built up a while ago. But even for Godlike, they're going to be completely fine with this as long as they're going to get the upcoming hardpoint control in their hands. As long as Godlike will have some sort of a lead in their hands, that's what Godlike is looking for.
Well, they are looking for it, but look at the scoreboard, Necro. Time to Pound. All of a sudden, they are the ones in the driving seat of this match, and that is what they were hoping for from the very start. And if they can hold on to this edge, if they can hold on to this advantage, then this is going to be their win. Crossing the 100-point marker before Godlike, this is going to be big. Godlike now all of a sudden struggling to find those kills. And Time to Pound, every single individual is on point. Trunks moves in with Prevail. They find those 2 frags. The cleanup comes through, but still stopped in their tracks. Time to Pound fighting for that control.
None of us saw this coming, Johnny. This is way too competitive. And Godlike is actually breaking his sweat at this point. They're not able to find that momentum that Godlike's known for. And even the hardpoint control, they're constantly being stolen away from the side of Time to Pound. And even the last man from Time to Pound was neutralized a while ago. But still, Time to Pound is running away with the hardpoint control. And something needs to be done from the side of Godlike. A significant amount of lead has already been established by Time to Pound. But Godlike, they snatch back the control in their hands. 10 more seconds are going to be there in the hardpoint. And Godlike, they need to make sure that every single second will be counted.
Well, every single second isn't going to be counted, of course. 2 seconds remain. Godlike Esports, they're going to get what they can, right? Because they do not want to give Time to Pound that extra bit of edge. They want to keep this as close as possible. So at any given time, Time to Pound make a single mistake, they are going to make sure that the punish is going to be extremely brutal. But whoa, what just happened? That retake, but Master with the small machine is going to try and neutralize this for his team. But Godlike now catching up. But Time to Pound, they are moving in, all of them together. And Godlike Esports are going to be shut down.
The struggle from Godlike, we never saw this coming. Time to pound. They knew exactly how to counter the players of Godlike. No matter what Godlike is trying to bring on the port, they're always getting countered by the players of Time to Pound. And these heavy investments, they're making sure that Godlike, they won't even be able to find a little bit of that semblance of hope on the Hardpoint itself. Godlike, they're constantly struggling. 101 to 136. Time to Pound, they're running away with a major lead now. And Godlike, they're looking pretty desperate. For some reason, Godlike is not able to find themselves on the kill feed as well. Yes, individually, they are able to get those kills, but as a team, they're failing.
Yeah, as a team, they are failing indeed. And this is a very surprising image to be viewing in front of us right now. 152 to 101. That's a big advantage for Time to Pound to work with. And as we mentioned, Necro, I think they're warmed up after that fight against the players of Fairness just a few moments ago, because this time they do not want to give up. Godlike, they have control of this hard point, but they need to hold on till the very end. But here comes the cleanup. Abyss and Random moving in, and Time to Pound once again keeping it neck and neck. But all of those heavy investments that were made a few moments ago have been pulled out, and now it's going to be Godlike Esports who have those operator skills available to them.
Yeah, they come up with the investments, and the Sparrow from the side of Learn once again was able to find insane amount of value, and that's why Godlike, they once again propel themselves, catapult themselves in that scoreboard. Slowly and steadily, the gap that was created from the side of Time to Pound, it's being neutralized, but really what matters is Time to Pound. If they keep on constantly maintaining the lead that they have, is really going to be important. The Beast, this man was able to line the players up back to back, and Time to Pound, now at this point in time, they're starting to struggle themselves. Godlike 136 to 153. Godlike is constantly running away with the points flow, and for some reason, Time to Pound, now they're starting to struggle to find any sort of kills.
Well, they are struggling to find those kills, but at least they had a safety cushion to work with. Now even that is going away. It's going to be very difficult to keep up if things keep on moving like this. But here we have it, the next hard point, the switch up comes through, Prevail moves in, and he's going to try and clean this up. Abyss, retake comes through, and he finds the second as well. A single shutdown and it all goes away. Time to Pound.
Oh my god.
They know they're on the verge of the win, but they can't lose composure even for a single second, and they are in control of this hardpoint again. Look at this equalizer. He needs to go big, progressive with this one. Can't afford to be shut down.
The investments you speak of, the equalizer pulled out from the mat, but he fails miserably. Even Abyss pulls out the Annihilator now, and Abyss needs to be popped off. Abyss was the man who was able to rack up so many kills from the side of Godlike, and for Godlike, this struggle, the sweat that they're breaking, it's something we never saw coming. But one thing is for sure, Time to Pound, man, they're fighting like a warrior. Godlike, one thing is for sure, even they're starstruck at this point in time. The surprise is clearly visible. The way the players of Godlike, they like to play it, you can see Godlike is not the actual Godlike. The playstyle is not the actual playstyle we like to see from Godlike.
Yeah, it seems like even they did not expect to be in a situation like this, where it's going to be extreme late game, and they're still fighting to take the lead away from Time to Pound. And Time to Pound, they've done it brilliantly as well, not really shying away from all of those duels, but now it seems like they are running into a trap as Neutrino goes big inside of this P1, and this could be the point where Godlike Esports are allowed to catch up to Time to Pound, but all of those smoke stops deny the vision, and they aren't really able to find their targets, and Time to Pound utilize this chaos to try and fight back for a few extra seconds. They're going to try and cross the 200-point marker with this P1 itself.
Godlike second-guessing their potential. Prevail pulls out the equalizer and annihilates everyone on that site. At least he gives his team this point. And now we've also got Trunks in the back lines, constantly spamming through around that corner, getting so many kills for his team. At least Godlike is getting real close to the scoreline the players of Time to Pound they've set up. And once again, you're trying to speak of the benchmarks now. Godlike, if they keep on running away with these points, and if they do find the equalizer, Godlike will run away with the wind in their sails.
Well, they are running away, or at least trying to catch up to the players of Time to Pound. Master and Abyss trying their level best. Oh, what a move from Trunks! Just shoots him in the back, finds him completely off guard. 185, 196, still looking for that 200. But Griffin with the Sparrow needs a lot of value. The problem is there is no one from the side of Godlike Esports that visible to him. His teammates are falling left, right, and center, and the Sparrow goes out of commission. The War Machine comes out, but Master is going to be shut down as well. Finally, Time to Pound able to cross that 200-point marker, but it might just be a little too late. They invested a lot of those operator skills in trying to just stay alive into this hardpoint, and Godlike Esports just patiently waited for their opportunity to strike, and now it has presented itself to Godlike Esports. Yeah, it is Necro. They are catching up.
Slow and steady with the comeback that Godlike has established on the scoreboard. Time to Pound had such a big lead in the scoreboard, but then Godlike, they happened. And now, for some reason, the scoreline is almost on the verge of being matched up by the players of Godlike. And for Godlike, it's always a fact. The garage hardpoint is way too easy for these boys to defend, and that's what they're exactly relying on. And Liner pulled out from Abyss, and he's going to try to line up a few more players. Another man spotted in the future, but still, for some reason, Abyss is not able to find the connection. But as soon as I say so, he finds a two-piece of his own.
Well, let's see though. 218 to 210, Godlike Esports in the lead of this game. And Time to Pound, they are going to kick themselves in the shin so hard if they lose this game. They were in the lead for so long, but now it seems like they're stuck in their tracks with absolutely no way of making a comeback. Godlike Esports, the big advantage every single second that they are alive. It's a big problem for the side of Time to Pound. Griffin moves in, Learn gets taken out, 218 to 229. Godlike still have the upper hand. Now only 9 points separating the two sides. Time to Pound, 18 seconds left, but after every single second, they are being contested and they are being stopped in getting that counter up. 227 to 229. Godlike Esports, can they move in for a retake?
Godlike, for some reason, it's the wave of enemies that hits them, and then Godlike just gets completely deactivated. Found a few scrap points here and there that Godlike will be able to get their hands on. 231 to 229. Still, Time to Pound is making sure that this is going to be as close as possible. Now, the next hardpoint's going to pop in the outskirts, and that's where Godlike, they off the rip, do have a little bit of that advantage. Learn and Abyss, together they start to pop off, and Godlike, they've already got the early control of this hardpoint. Time to Pound, they come through with heavy investments. Abyss with the claw is able to find a few more kills on the board, and Abyss finds that two-piece, and that two-piece is going to be super crucial, but Abyss, the reply is going to be super intense as well. As Godlike, once again, they start to get the claw, they start to get the grip back on the hard point, and it feels like now they're running away with the lead that they've found. This is going to be the momentum that Godlike was looking for, and Time to Pound, they seem completely lost.
Yeah, it's over. Just a single second, it's all over. Godlike Esports, no matter what happens, still unbeaten, still undefeated. What an impressive way to kick things off in this series, and what an impressive way for Godlike Esports to win, but nothing taken away from Time to Pound, man. They played so well, but to be fair to Time to Pound, they didn't win Hacienda against Dennis as well.
I mean, look, Johnny, Godlike, the fact that they've actually received such a big reality check, in my opinion, we never saw this coming, right? I do understand this match does not really hold any sort of value in the overall terms of the storyboard, but still, it's all about making a statement before you enter the land finale, and that's where Time to Pound, they've already made a stark statement on the board. If they can go so close, toe-to-toe against the players of Godlike, now I would like to see what Time to Pound has in store for us in the future.
Oh man, for sure. I'm waiting for that land finale even more now. This was so exciting to watch. And Time to Pound, again, I think I'm going to add them to the list of the top 4, man. There's Godlike, Vitality, Accelerate, and now there's going to be Time to Pound as well. This team is just amazing. I love the rebuild.
And the fact that they have improved over time in this tournament itself, because if you remember, when we saw them perform in the Open Finals, Time to Pound, they had a lot of those cracks in their defense. They had a lot of those chinks in their armor. But then as they moved on towards the challenge season, Time to Pound was looking much more reformed. They were looking much more better when you try and speak of the team synergy, the tactics that they were able to bring on the board. They seemed a little bit more refined. And now look at Time to Pound. They're going toe-to-toe against Godlike. It was such a close affair, but then later on, Godlike, it felt like they warmed up once again, and they found the exact groove they were looking for.
Yeah, man, I for Godlike, a lot of individual performances also were there in very clutch moments.
Abyss.
First of all, mid-game. Mid-game, it was Neutrino popping off. Late game, Abyss popping off. Learn being consistent throughout. He had his moments of shine as well inside of this game. But yeah, individual performances, I believe, are a big reason why Godlike Esports have secured the win in this game. And as you mentioned, Abyss, 59 kills. Man, he was a monster.
Exactly. Abyss was the only man who was able to get so many kills back-to-back on the board. But unfortunately for Godlike, as I mentioned, the team play sometimes, it felt like it was not exactly there. It was not the same Godlike that we've been seeing for such a long time in the competitive circuit. For some reason, it felt like Time to Pound was in the driver's seat for too long.
Yeah, I mean, they were in the driving seat for a long time, but still, there's going to be an opportunity for them to strike back. Let's see, can they secure the lead in the upcoming matchup, which is going to be search and destroy on firing range, and if they do, can they secure the win? Again, we've seen Godlike yesterday on firing range, absolutely destroyed. That was a beatdown handed to Panda Express, but Time to Pound, they are an experienced bunch as well, and as we know, when things slow down, Time to Pound, that is when they are the best.
Now, let's speak about the experience, right? We know Time to Pound, they've got a lot of experience as well underneath their belts, but Godlike, they've got more of that experience. And in my opinion, experience and team synergy is what's required in Search and Destroy. So that's why I think Upper Edge will be once again with the boys of Godlike, considering we are going to move on towards firing range. And we saw yesterday what the players of Godlike did to their opponents. So firing range has to be a suit for Godlike, but you never know. Maybe Time to Pound can once again make it super intense and super competitive.
Well, they are going to make it intense. I hope they do. I mean, this team is just very exciting to watch. It's a perfect masterclass of how Call of Duty Mobile needs to be played from both these two sides. And again, the most competitive day we have had in the challenge season so far. But look at this, Time to Pound on defense, Godlike on attack. A lot of aggression coming in from Time to Pound, by the way. Look at their positioning.
Godlike, though, the fact that they're taking it super slow is now catching me off guard. You do not really see this happen from the side of Godlike. But Godlike is starting to take the matchups a little bit too serious. And maybe that's the problem. Godlike needs to take it lightly and stop overthinking. This is what I was about to mention as well during the hardpoint itself. It felt like Godlike was taking too much of that load upon themselves. They need to start thinking lightly. If they're going to overthink every possible scenario, it will be a big problem. But I like this take from the side of Godlike. They still have got a minute left on the clock, and they can do anything they want.
They can, but Time to Pound, too much pressure. And finally, I think Godlike have started to move towards that B side, scouting for information. And if they find absolutely no one there, they're going to know that it's just been left open, and they can move and plant the bomb. 48 seconds left. There's the first kill, Master shut down. Map pressure in the favor of Godlike Esports, and I think with that second kill, they have walked away with the round. Griffin is going to be the last man left standing, can't really do much, gets taken out as well. Godlike Esports off to a Godlike start, 1-0 on the board.
For some reason, it feels like Godlike, they've lost the confidence that Godlike Esports has usually in their matchups. They need a few more wins like this so that they can get the confidence back under their sleeves and start dominating and rolling through the opponents. Before now, once again, a slow and steady start. Just like the previous one. If it's working out, you might as well try the same thing once again. And that's what the players of Godlike are doing. Nicely done by Trunks. He finds the first opener. And that opening is also going to give such a big opening inside of the side itself. As Godlike, they keep on pressing the charges. They keep on pressing the wounds. They're also going to find the side control. And already they're roaming free on the map.
Man advantage, always a big difference maker between the two sides, but now I think it's pretty much over. 2 versus 4 situation. Last man left gets picked off. 2-0 start for Godlike Esports. But Necro, I have to say one thing. I mean, as you were saying, Godlike Esports, I don't think they've lost confidence. I think now is when they are again taking things seriously. I think maybe they just ran into that hard point before this, just expecting an easy win, and they got a reality check. So now they're just being respectful to the players of Time to Pound and just trying their level best again.
Godlike is so good with the trades. And this is what experience really brings on the board. Know exactly how to cover your team's back.
Yeah.
Progressive is going to go for that hard clear. He finds Trunks. For some reason, it felt like Trunks is going to be the one to take down Progressive in return. But that pick, it found the neutralizer on the board. Godlike needs to go for the plant. Beautiful smoke. That's going to bloom out. And that will give enough time for Lern to go for the plant. Goes for the plant. The man instantly tucks in the corner. Time to Pound. A 3-on-3 scenario. Just imagine the pressure Time to Pound's going to be feeling. They would at least want to make sure that Godlike loses one map before they move to the LAN finals.
Yeah.
And that's what Time to Pound is over here to do. They do not want to win the game against Godlike. They just want to make sure that Godlike loses one map. But Progressive, he finds a beautiful pick on to Lern. But Neutrino was able to reply back in a great fashion with a nice 2-piece. And just like that, he seals the deal as well. What just happened?
Man, Neutrino's rotation, that's what happened. It was the big brain play made from rotation, Neutrino when it was down to the 3v3. Even after finding that first frag on towards Learn, they did not expect that man to just run from behind. He rotated all the way from the B side, from the defender's spawn, and then shot them in the back.
Aggressive start this time around. We do see a little bit of those sparks. Nothing more than that. Prevail, beautiful nade. But even Trunks gets caught instantly in return. Godlike is now starting to face some real trouble. And as you mentioned a while ago, it feels like Godlike is being a little bit more respectful to the opponents. Learn, shuts down Progressive in return. And that should have been a pick. But Neutrino, he messes up big time, connects the shot onto the leg. Godlike, they've already found the entrance. Even the bomb's planted. And now the pressure is going to be on the players of Time to Pound. And already he's just one last man standing. I don't think so he can do a lot.
Yeah. Definitely. I mean, this round was pretty straightforward. Godlike Esports, I think they just went out for a hunt, as you mentioned. Early engagements down mid. And after those initial trades, getting the bomb down, they realized how to capitalize on the man advantage. Prevail, just running around the map, looking for those kills. 4-0 Godlike Esports now have built up a lot of pressure on the side of Time to Pound, and as you mentioned, the goal is pretty clear. Just take one map, and it seems like they're struggling with that as well. And Neutrino, that was an insane shot.
Neutrino and SND. The man steps up when his team needs him the most. 4-0. This scoreline is looking pretty one-sided, but Abyss, he's got something else in his mind, and even Progressive backs him up perfectly. Maybe I am the curse.
Yeah, it is the moment that you said it, man. Now, Abyss is the last man left alive. 1 versus 4. Spots out a player jumping, takes him out. That was a quick one onto Master, but look at that, 1 minute and 9 seconds left. He does not have the bomb. They are going to try and wait for him, so it's pretty much already done and dusted. I think it's a very difficult round for Godlike Esports to recover in.
Oh, he looks back at the wrong time, but at least the shots are being whiffed. What is Random doing? There's no way he whiffed a shot on the man who was standing still. And then this is going to be the second lifeline Abyss was looking for as he finds Progressive. And now he knows exactly where the players are positioned to. 40 seconds left on the clock. Abyss, he needs to be a little bit more quick.
Ooh. No matter how quick you are, it becomes difficult to react to that sometimes. A valiant effort from Abyss over there, but losing out on too many players, leaving him in a 1 versus 3 was difficult to begin with, but let's see. Godlike Esports still a big advantage to work with. Again, a lot of pressure being built towards A.
Godlike is completely playing on the back of picks.
Yeah.
As soon as Godlike is able to find the first pick, the first advantage they're looking for, the other boys, they start to send it. Neutrino is going to be the first man to get picked off this time around, but Trunks, he finds the instant return. So that's going to bring the man in number back to an equalizer. And Trunks, he does not clear the site properly, and that's where Progressive finds a chance to pop off. But once again, Godlike, they've got each other's back. So the equalizers, they always keep on hitting the deck. And how is Learn so quick? He was going for the plant for one instance, and then he pulls out the gun once again, shuts down the man who was up close and personal, and now it's down to the one last man standing from Godlike. Prevail with the shotgun. He misses both the shots, but it's a 1-on-2. 50 seconds left on the clock. Enough time for this man to pull off a big brain move. But can Prevail really clutch this out? That's the real question. Both the players in the front, and Prevail does not find any target.
Yeah, I think he had information about one player, but not about the second. He ran out of that container to try to pull some shots and gather some more info, but did not really happen. 4-2, Time to Pound. Signs of life being displayed again. It's all about getting that first kill again for the side of Godlike. This time on defense, Time to Pound on attack. And here comes the aggression. Trunks walks right into his crosshair. A kill being handed over, gifted to the side of Time to Pound.
I'm not sure what Godlike is thinking at this point. That's a rookie mistake. The man should have known there must be someone watching the back. And Godlike, the grip that they had on this search and destroy, it feels like slowly and steadily it's fading away. At least Neutrino is still there on the site, but the man gets spotted! What a quick shot that was. If he's able to convert the second one as well, that's going to be a major table turner. And that's what exactly happens. Neutrino with this two-piece on the side itself is completely shut down the odds that the players of Time to Pound had with themselves.
Well, let's see though. It's 2 versus 3. The bomb's been dropped in a very awkward position. Plus, you look at where Prevail is. Oh, it's going to be down to the timing. No, he does not check it. He's moving, looking to check towards A. And Prevail is definitely going to get shot inside of that container. He survives, takes down Master. The second man moves in and Prevail shuts down both of them. Another round in the favor of Godlike Esports, inching closer towards the win.
Slow rounds.
Yeah.
None of them wants to go for a quick burst. Maybe this time around, Time to Pound, they've got something else in their mind, but then Neutrino Sniper, he makes sure that the players are going to be facing a lot of bullets when they try to make towards the site. Well, it was a quick burst, that's for sure. Johnny feels like whatever I'm saying is happening.
Did you forget the round where you cursed the team and they lost?
Yeah, I mean, at least, like, something's happening.
Whenever you say something happens. Something
happens.
Something happens.
Around those words, something happens. But Godlike, hold on, Johnny, this time around Neutrino, he gets neutralized, and that's not a good thing. Neutrino was the main playmaker for Godlike this whole time. And Trunks, he gets spotted too. Backs against the man,
running
around.
Away, man.
Yeah, but still, there's Prevail alive in this trailer, and he can be the table turner. Prevail, he knows exactly where the opponents are now. Still the shotgun in the hand, and unfortunately, that range is not going to be enough to take down the man.
Yeah. Still, all they need is a single round to close this out. They can do as they please, be as cheeky as they want. Godlike Esports now. A lot of utility exchange down mid. They know there's a man in the container. It doesn't matter. Prevail. This man is just an absolute nuisance with that shotgun. Finds a kill. Gets his team a trade as well as Neutrino shuts down Griffin. Random picked off as well. I think it's over. It's 4 versus 2 situation. Make that a 4v1. Progressive is going to be the last man left alive. And Godlike Esports, no matter who you put in front of them, the result is always the same. Another 2-0 added to the bag as Time to Pound, unfortunately, faced this loss, not even winning a single map against Godlike Esports, but still, I have to say, it was an exciting series to watch.
Godlike still on a flawless run towards the LAN finals, and they're going to move in undefeated, no matter beat the map or no matter beat the series. Godlike, they have had quite a flawless run. We would have loved to see a matchup between 5AM and Godlike, but we pretty much know what the outcome would have been. So 5AM, realizing that same thing, they pretty much gave up and they forfeited that game. But the upcoming match, Johnny, it's going to be between Felines and Galaxia, and for them, their fate's on the line.
Yeah, but let's see. I mean, fate is going to be on the line for those two teams as well, as you mentioned. I mean, whoever wins qualifies. The one that loses gets left behind. And our expectations from that matchup are split as well. I have a feeling Galaxia might take the win. You have a feeling Feline is going to be the strong of the bunch. But that is also going to be an exciting series. I think after watching what Time to Pound have been up to in the first 2 games, and Godlike Esports, especially with that, how they were able to make a comeback on Hardpoint, that was inspiring stuff, man. That is what legends are made from. Both of these two teams. I'm going to take NS into this as well. So Galaxia and Feline, now the bar is set pretty high, right? We want a competitive series between the two teams.
Pretty much. It might just be another 3-mapper, just like the first match that we saw today. Time to pound today. One thing is for sure, they were a big surprise package, and with the way they unfolded, taking down an S at the start and then making it super competitive, or at least trying to make it super competitive against Godlike. Hardpoint was super close. Search and Destroy was one-sided, but still, man, it was quite a time-taking series, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I mean, it is going to be interesting to see how it turns out. I mean, now the results are looking extremely unpredictable, right? So the next match is going to be the one most important match of the day. Then we have the last game, which is going to be Anthem against Strike. And I think that's going to be a quick 2-0. Strike, they've been struggling in the entire journey in the challenge season. Anthem have been very comfortable. But the next series now, we had 3 hype matches, 3 important matches today. The first 3 games were just supposed to be the scrimmage matches, right? NS versus Time to Pound. Time to Pound against Godlike, because all 3 teams moving towards that LAN finale. It was just about testing the waters, as you like to say, Necro, against each other before you face off on LAN. But now one spot for LAN on the line. And I just hope that Feline, they show up in their best form, because for the side of Feline, every single time they take a loss, it seems like they barely miss because of a small few mistakes.
I generally think Felines is going to be the one to make it a quick 2-0 against Galaxia, because looking at Galaxia's past and how they played, especially inside of the lower brackets in the open finals, Galaxia, yes, they did dominate through one map against the players of Team Fate, if I'm not wrong, but then later on, Galaxia for them as well, it was a series of struggle. Before now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for us to toss to a short break before we move on towards the Fate Decider.
problem, we'll solve them. Make it through together, it'll be all love, and it's all good. It's all good. Feel like I'm the big dog, been killing it since tip-off. Come with it or stay home, the people gon' feel ripped off. It's only major leaguers in the office. If you giving half of an effort round the rest of us, you'll make it awkward. I'm about that action, not the one you talk with. You better hope I'm not the one your coach gon' have you out here really guarding. It took a lot for me to get here, but I have arrived. I really made it and the haters be looking surprised. Been down before, but now I'm better than I've ever been. Through all adversity, I saw the light now and whatever the problem, we'll solve them. Make it through together, it'll be all love, and it's all good. Yeah. Okay. They say pressure makes diamonds. That's what I align with, cause the journey I've been climbing is riddled with perfect timing. I'm in a different mode when I be trying to get it. To even get a chance to compete is a form of winning. I mean, what's the point of playing if we ain't striving for greatness? I feel a sense of pride with every play that I'm making. To the top of the world when I came from the basement. Boy, I'm the one and not the two, so don't get it mistaken.
You waited all night for me to come back. Why'd you think that it's not alright? Told you that I'm not that type. Didn't mean to get you so excited. Tried to tell you not to fall in love. Why you always hit me uninvited? Was hoping you would get the picture. I've had enough. Now it's time for me to turn around. Thought you knew what this was. Yeah, I am superstar. You were never the one for me. Never should have felt for me. Take back your heart. Why don't you take it back? You never had a chance. I'm gonna take back your heart. Call it a savage love, just till I had enough. I'm good, babe. I'm on my own. This ain't a phase. Just let me go. Told you that I'm not that type. Don't wanna waste and ride. Make it for one more chance. Yeah, know you got carried away. Ooh, you made me to say it. Even messing with greatness, faces, stay in your place. I was stuck in a place, then you got in the way. All the love that we made got me stuck in the brain. Got no time to stay here. I'm saying goodbye. Yeah, I am superstar. You were never the one for me. Never should have felt for me. Take back your heart. Why don't you take it back? You never had a chance. I'm gonna take back the one heart. Call it a savage love, just till I had enough of us. Take back your heart.
The Snapdragon Pro Series is brought to you by Snapdragon Elite Gaming, Monster Energy, and DHL.
Welcome back after that short break to the most debated matchup between Felines and Galaxia 5. And Johnny, we know whoever wins this match will have a chance to move in towards the DreamHack LAN Finals.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot on the line to win and to lose for both these two sides. Both of them pretty much tied up in terms of their win-loss ratio on that overall leaderboard in Group A. And as we have been talking about since the start of the day, this is the only spot that remains from this particular group for that LAN final. And again, Griffin, it is going to be interesting to see how these two teams fight up against each other. Galaxia taking on the side of Feline. And Feline, I mean, Necro, this is the team that you're rooting for today, right?
Exactly, man. And we've seen Doping Pieces well perform so well. Antivirus, too, can't really forget. The only reason why I'm going with Felines over here is because of the experience this team has. We have seen all the boys play for such a long time in the pro circuit, and I think that today's the time when they showcase their experience and take down a team like Galaxia 5, where you can't say much more newer faces on the block.
Yeah, yesterday we saw them put up a decent fight against the players of Accelerate, but Accelerate, we know, is a pretty deadly team. And because of that, Feline were forced to take a loss, but it was still a very interesting series and a very interesting way they were able to play out their matches. But today, it is going to be very important for them to not make a single mistake and do whatever it takes to secure a W in this matchup. But, Necro, that's the thing. I have a feeling Galaxia 5 is, well, they have an opportunity to walk away with the win. We have a look at the lineup of Galaxia 5, Marbs being there, Disparity being there, Rogue, Grego, Lakshay as well. And Lakshay has been a player who, well, yesterday's performance wasn't the best, but still, he stands there when his team needs him the most. Apart from that, Marbs has been... well, there's been a lot of pressure on him to perform as well, and he does do quite well on a day-to-day basis. Today, it's going to be very important for him to stand up along with Disparity.
I mean, talking about Galaxia 5, they need to perform as a well-knit unit. Just one single man going for the heroic plays, just one man popping off isn't really going to seal the deal. They need to perform as a proper, well-knit unit. Everyone needs to be there equally on the board, contributing for the frag numbers, because that's been the main problem for Galaxia 5 in the past as well. They rely a lot on those heroic plays. Just like the last time when we saw Galaxia 5 play, it was Drago who was able to bring insane amount of numbers on the board. Nothing taken away from Marbs as well. There's these individual maps where Marbs as well performs pretty nice, but that's what I'm saying. It should not really differentiate on the map itself. You should be performing equally good no matter what game mode you're in, no matter what map you're in.
That is very true. I mean, a lot from the side of Galaxia 5 is accomplished based off of the individual heroics, as you keep mentioning it. But today, a team play is going to be required. But we do have a look at the map. Vito in front of us. And wait, is that happening? Hackney Yard picked by Felines for Hardpoint.
That's their favorite.
Let's go.
That's their favorite. It's not the first time Felines is going to be playing on a Hackney Yard. It's the second time they're playing this.
Yeah.
And then Tenacia is going to be picked by Galaxia 5. So I would love to see how Galaxia 5 is going to be flipping the odds in their favor on Tenacia. But generally speaking, I think Hackney Yard should be in the backpack of this team, which is going to be Felines.
Let's see, man. Hackney Yard is a very awkward map. That's all I'm going to say about it. I do not like this map one bit. Although, if you are in the flow of things, if you are constantly getting those kills, then it becomes very easy to control those hardpoints because of where they are placed. So, it is going to be interesting to see who gets the initial momentum, who keeps that momentum going. Resets are very difficult to execute inside of this map. And as you mentioned, Felines, they've done it once before, so there is a possibility that they know what they need to do in order to secure that early advantage. But here we go, the first mode of Hardpoint, Galaxia against Feline.
All of them moving in tandem at the same time, and now Dopin T's shotgun, it needs to do wonders. Even Antivirus is doing quite a great job, so once again, off the rip, it's going to be a few more points converted in the hands of Felines, and Felines are not even letting any sort of breathing room in the hands of Galaxia. It's a few picks here and there being found individually, but that's what I'm exactly saying. Individual picks are really not going to make any count. You need to perform as well in the unit. You need to be there on the board equally.
Yeah, exactly. And look at this. Once again, you get here, you just need to set up that crossfire, one from the outer, one from the inner, and you will be able to control the hard point for ages. And that is what Galaxia are doing right now, learning or taking a page out of the book of Team Feline. But now they are going to be stuck. The wall of smoke dissipates, and Team Feline, they need to catch up as quickly as possible. Galaxia in the flow of things, 16 seconds more on this first hard point.
Dope's playing with the Fnatic this time around. He's not really playing with the shotgun anymore, so I like that switch. Dope maybe realized the fact that, okay, playing shotgun on Hackney Yard sometimes cannot be that well, and that's why Dope has came through with this switch up. And so far, Felines, honestly speaking, when it comes to the kill feed, they're definitely popping off. Galaxia, a little bit of that advantage they did get, but that advantage is really not going to count, especially on Felines. They're destroying them when it comes to that frag number. But as soon as I say so, it's Galaxia 5 once again, retaliating back in a great fashion.
Oh man, this is gonna get more and more intense. Galaxia 37-38. They are moving forward. They have control of P2 as well, and on the radar we do see the players of Team Feline trying to move in. They're trying their level best to close in, but it's not really working out. Galaxia a little bit more precise, constantly bring the kills, the kill feed.
Oh my
And today,
God.
look at this as well, man. Lakshya and Mobs, these two lads are on fire right now. Rogue doing so well for himself.
60-28, Felines really starting to struggle. Any sort of pedaling, any sort of foot on this hard point. And at this point in time, if Felines, they're not able to find that groove, they're not able to find that momentum, then we pretty much know there's a big chance this hard point will be slipped away from their hands. And then in Search and Destroy, I'm not even sure what to expect. It's all about momentum between both these teams. Whichever team's going to have the upper edge, they're pretty much going to be the one to run through.
Well, yeah, and now it seems like there's a big advantage in the favor of Galaxia. Feline struggling to fight for control. Moving forward for P3. This time the players of Feline get there first, but no! The operator's kill, the war machine comes out, and it's going to be a cleanup coming in from Galaxia. Feline still haven't gotten themselves to that hard point, so Galaxia just taken away from them. The trade comes in, Feline looking for a reset. They do find it as well, but it's not going to be enough. And both the teams still just back and forth between them for this P3 control.
Felines, they do get the P3 control for now, but for how long can they sustain it? That's the real question. Illusion pulls out a War Machine himself, is able to find significant amount of value, but that value is not going to be enough, especially when the opponents, they keep on respawning, and they will be back on their feet soon enough. Illusion's able to find 2 more with that War Machine. That's decent amount of value already being found, but now Felines as a team, they need to step up big. Galaxia with 81, and Felines with 58 and counting. That's a great thing that Felines, at least they've got this whole point control, and they need to keep on moving with this momentum now.
It's not going to be easy at all, though. Once again, momentum shut down, moving forward to the next hard point, and this time it is going to be Galaxia who get there first. But Feline moving in. Galaxia, they have too many bodies inside of that hard point, and if they find those kills, Feline, they are going to be reset. Galaxia barely surviving Feline now. The numbers advantage is there, and they're looking to move in, all of them together. Fallen finds Drago. The reset could happen at any time, Necro, and now it's Feline in control of the game.
Felines, just look at the kill feed. They're just all across the board. Smashing through the boys of Galaxia 5, and Galaxia 5, they're left with no answer. No matter what it is, Felines, they're all across the map, always predicting the players of Galaxia 5, and considering Hackney Yard is such an off pick over here, that's why maybe the players of Galaxia 5 do not exactly know what to do on the board to try and counter the players of Feline. Felines, the lead that the players of Galaxia 5, it's been taken away from them, and now Felines themselves, they're on the lead.
They have the advantage for the first time in the game since that first hard point, but Galaxia are still fighting, still in the fight. Look at this. They're going to be able to catch up. And there you have it, the equalizer found. They gain a slight edge against the players of Team Feline. One operator skill available on either side. The score streak is there as well for the side of Feline. Back again to the mix, and Galaxia this time around though doing a brilliant job. The War Machine comes out. How much value do they gain from this? Not enough. 112 to 97. Rogue forced to make a run for his life with the equalizer as well, gets taken out.
This is way too neck and neck. Felines, they once again get the grip back inside of the game. For a while, it felt like Felines, they lost the hard point, but then later on with the heavy investments, Felines, they're once again back in the groove of things. Illusion's War Machine, once again, he's able to do a lot of that damage against the opponents, and the amount of kills that Illusion's able to find, they're quite vital, especially the spots that he's able to find those kills on. It's quite incredible. Feline's defense has been looking on point, especially if you're trying to compare this defense to the way things started off. Felines is now doing much better, and they seem in sync.
They are in sync indeed. I think finally figuring out how to react. Dope and Virus doing a brilliant job. Illusion as well. Makes the connection. 126, 2 seconds left. And now there you have it. They have control of the choke point before the players of Galaxy. I think this is where the beatdown actually begins. This is where Felines completely take over the game. But as I say, that disparity with that multi-kill, the cleanup comes through. There's going to be an instantaneous reset. And Feline, the momentum that they were hoping to hold on to gets taken away from them. But the claw from Dope gets shut down as well.
Even Luxious there around the corner. Another claw was pulled out, but before he even had a chance to pull out that claw, he got shut down instantly. That operator skill, it was not even worth it. And Dope is able to find one with the Hunter Killer drone and the other one with the Predator missile. Felines now, once again, they do feel the groove, and now they're back in action. Illusion, just look at the amount of kills this man is able to find. Before with the War Machine, the operator skill, Illusion was able to find perfect value, and now with the Type 19 as well, Illusion's doing perfect. Felines as a well-knit unit, as a team, they're doing nice.
Well, they are doing quite well for themselves. A big advantage to work with now. And Galaxia, they're going to have to settle with whatever they can get for themselves in terms of those points. Feline again a little bit quicker towards the next hard point, and they aren't really charging forward for it. Initially, instantly, they are waiting for the players of Galaxia to show up to buy a few extra seconds for themselves, and they do succeed in baiting out the players of Galaxia, stepping into their crosshairs. The gravity vortex comes out, but not a lot of value gained by Luxia. Just finds 2 kills off of that. Are they going to be enough? 40 seconds left for them. Can they catch up? Feline once again looking to move in. The shutdowns come through, and Galaxia once again are finding those kills, but only for a few seconds. They regroup, and as soon as they move in, Feline, they have the upper hand again. Warlord positioned perfectly with the Type 19. The shutdown comes through, but Rogue only able to survive for a few extra seconds. It's a complete back and forth between the two sides.
It indeed is 186 to 144, and it keeps on counting for Galaxia 5, considering they've got the control for now, but still you got to give it to the boys of Felines.
Yeah.
The way they're able to win the duels when they're together, it's quite insane, and Dope in peace as well. Once again, the man is back in action. Dope with that Fennec is able to cause ruckus on the site. This hard point once again gained back in the hands of Felines. A few scrappy points will be there on the hard point, but now the next point pops up.
Next point pops up, and 200 already achieved though by the side of Feline, so the game is in their control. Galaxy is still there in the fight, in the mix. Now they're starting to lag behind. Illusion with the small machine from the distance as well. Can't really do anything about that, and I think that is the shutdown that Galaxia wanted to avoid.
Illusion just keeps on going. I don't even know how he's so good with the War Machine. Every single time this man has pulled out the operator skill, he's able to find multi-kills and multi-frags, and they need to try and find a counter to this. Felines now, it feels like it's going to be a complete one-sided beatdown from them, and Galaxia, they're not able to find any sort of reply. Off the rip, it was way too close and way too intense, but now Felines, they're making sure that if they're going to run away with this momentum, all they were looking for was the shorty, and as they found the shorty, now Felines, the confidence is going to be on cloud 9.
Yeah, there's a lot of confidence within this team right now. 226 to 149. Feline with a big advantage, and I think they realize this as well. They are just on the verge of closing out this match. Should not be too difficult from here on out. 7 seconds remaining on the next hardpoint. Disparity completely whips the spray. The chase is still there. Warlord shut down, but from the distance, Illusion doing such a brilliant job today. He is on fire. If Feline end up dominating the series, Illusion is going to be a big reason for this. 45 kills on the board for this one man, and he is not stopping, not slowing down. Look at this, the equalizer comes out. Somehow Galaxia do manage to stay in this fight, but now I think Necro, it is a little too late. Just 16 points needed by Feline to close out Hardpoint.
Honestly speaking, Luxia is such an impact fragger on the side of Galaxia. The amount of value Luxia was able to pull off every single time when he pulls out the operator skill as well, it's been nuts. But for now, Felines, they once again do get the grip back inside of the game, and they're on the verge of clinching their fists too against Galaxia 5. Galaxia 5 for now, they've got the hard point control. As long as they've got the control, Felines, they will be on their toes. But if Galaxia 5, for an instance, even if they do lose out on this hard point control, Felines, they will once again be back in the swing of things, and they will run away with the victory. They do not even need a lot of points anymore.
Well, let's see though. 243, they just need 7 points as you mentioned. And I think they should be able to run away with the win now. Galaxia, that deficit during the mid-game, it is going to prove too much to deal with. But still, Galaxia, they get to the next hard point first. And Feline right now just sticking out. They're giving Galaxia all the control that they need, but as I say that, Dope moves in. Here's the surprise no one expected. Dope fighting for control gets his team a bit closer. 246, almost on the verge. Illusion once again with the War Machine. The cleanup comes through, and this is going to be it. This could be the end. The players from Felines looking to move in. Illusion still there with a Mon Machine looking for those extra kills. Now, Galaxia, they're just trying to see if they can hold on. Just keep the brakes on the pressure of Feline for as long as possible. But I think this is going to be a very tough task. The control is there. 3, 2, 1. Oh, almost done. And now it's finally over. Feline, they take the win. Rightfully deserved as well. A good start of the series by Team Felines.
Matt Fido was the main decider for this first hard point, and Feline, just as they got the shot to pick that Hackney yard, we pretty much knew somewhere down line, Felines is going to be the one to find that upper edge. And of course, you talk about the experience. Even that comes through and prevails against the players of Galaxia 5. Nothing taken away from Galaxia 5. Yes, they do have the firepower, but as I mentioned, Hackney yard was the pick of the opponents, which was Felines, and that's why they came through victorious. But still, maybe Tunisia can be a major table turner, considering it is the pick. It is the pick of the players of Galaxia 5.
Yeah, it can be. I mean, Tunisia, it's always unpredictable. Could be a complete back and forth, but Feline, what a great start, man, to this day. And what a way to convert this game as well, especially Illusion. The big reason for that. When he started off very slow, look at that. When the game began, Warlord just kept his team in check. Illusion was sitting there with like 8 or 9 kills, and then all of a sudden, towards the end of the game, we see him pushing for that 50.
Off the rip, it was way too close. It was way too back and forth. On the P1 itself, we thought, okay, Felines, they got the first point control. Maybe they're going to be the one to run away with the victory on a one-sided note. But then Galaxia 5 came through with a complete beatdown, and they gave a big reality check to the players of Felines. But as you kept moving on, in the mid-phase, it felt like, okay, Felines is now just completely showcasing a one-sided domination. But then you move on towards the late game, and for some reason, Felines weren't really fighting back too strong. And that's why it could have almost cost them the game. But it's completely fine. As long as you win the map, that's all that matters.
Yeah, as long as you win the map, that is all that matters, and that is all that is going to be important. But now it's time to win the series. Let's see if Feline will be able to close it out in the next one. And look at that, Illusion. He was all about that kills, man. Just 22 times spent on the objective, 22 seconds spent on the objective, but the man has 53 kills on the board.
You really got to give it to Rogue and Luxia. These two guys were so impactful. I do understand Luxia does not really have a lot of those frag numbers to keep himself on the top, but it's about the vital moments, and that's when Luxia was popping off, especially when you saw the players of Galaxia 5 losing that grip. Luxia was able to find 3 to 4 Ks easily, and that was really keeping the players of Galaxia 5 in the race.
Yeah, it was very impressive. I mean, Luxia has always been that key player for the side of for his team, for Galaxia. Whenever his team needs him, that is when he performs. On easy matchups, you're going to see him be the bottom fragger for his team as well. That also happens. But today, I think, luckily, he showed up. But then again, I mean, Mobs and Disparity and Drago, these 3 individuals also need to do their job. And I think once, since now we are going to be moving forward to search and destroy, they need to bring everything that they have if they want to keep their hopes and dreams of that LAN finale alive.
Yeah, and Felines would really not want to be kicked out of the tournaments because that roster that Feline has, they will be technically kicked out from one tournament twice.
Why do you have to bring that up, Necro?
I mean, hey, it is what it is, man. In the open finals, Team Dope was not seen moving towards the challenge finals. Now they're back with the invited slot, so at least they would want to make sure that they're making the most out of it. But hey, let's move on towards Tunisia, where maybe Galaxia 5 can have a better shot, considering they were the one to pick it.
Yeah, Roastmaster Necro, ladies and gentlemen, has showed up today. And I think Felines are going to try their level best to prove you wrong. They are not going to be eliminated from the same tournament twice.
I picked them, Johnny. They're my pick. So I think Felines should be able to 2-0 this if they play this properly. I would love to see Dope and Peace back on his shotgun because that will be quite a game changer in my opinion, but it's completely fine when you've got a man like Luxia popping off from Galaxia 5. And oh man, I don't like this for Felines. A 2-on-3. Man advantage in the hands of Galaxia 5, and what a flick that was, Dope! This man has a lot at stake.
Yeah, but it's down to a 1v2. Dope left again, all alone against Rogue and Disparity. With a sniper as well. Has the bomb though, so he has an opportunity to rotate towards that B side, go for a plant. But not really a start we were expecting from the side of Feline. Let's see if they can convert this opening round. It's really close, yeah.
Versus Disparity and Rogue. And honestly speaking, today we've seen a lot of variety from Dope. Usually you would see this man on the shotgun, but today snipers and SMGs, nice. And he also pulls out the Type 19, by the way. Unfortunately, he gets caught by Rogue. Good repositioning from Rogue.
Yeah, good repositioning, and also, I mean, the man advantage is what Galaxia had an opportunity to capitalize on. And I think that is what it will come down to majority of the times between these two sides, because as you look at the individuals, and both these teams are quite evenly matched. So it will be down to the team play, but Feline once again moving together. Lakshay finding that opening frag for his team, and the second as well. That's a big edge gain by Galaxia already.
How does he find two-piece every single time? That too in such a panicky situation when you've got the entirety of the opposition pushing on top of you. And he's still able to keep himself calm and get that 2 peaks.
2-0, Galaxia off to a good start this time around. And again, as you mentioned, Lakshay, very impressive right now with how he's been playing. Search and destroy, but that angle on that A side works out in the favor of the snipers, but not this time. It is going to be a push down mid from the Felines. They still get annihilated, losing 3 players. 2 versus 4, 2 versus 3. Oh, but here comes disparity at the shutdown, though, from Fallen. Down to a 2v2 we go.
Beautiful stuff.
Yeah.
Felines, they took a while to understand what exactly the opponents are trying to do, but now finally they do understand what they need to do to try and make sure that the opponents, they will be staying on their knees. Lakshay, this man is always good for 2. Is he going to be good for 2 this time around as well? That's the question. First shot found. The second one as well gets caught. Once again, Lakshay with the double kill. No matter what, if this man is there in the round, he will get a double kill.
Under pressure is where he is at his best. And right now, he knows his entire team is under pressure. Lakshay single-handedly picking up the entirety of Galaxia and putting them on his back. As you mentioned, Necro, every single time finding that 2K on towards the A side, but finally he's going to be shut down by Dope. And this could be a big frag for Feline, a danger man out of the way.
That was desperately needed. The man who was keeping the A side intact has already been taken down. But just look at the radar, Johnny. The entirety of B side is vacant. If the players of Felines moving towards B, that's going to be free plant. Felines.
Quite hesitant, though.
Yeah. Dope is just waiting patiently for someone to peek out. But maybe the players of Galaxia 5, they've got something else in their mind. And Dope, he finds the exact opportunity and window that he wanted to. And just like that, it's going to be a complete flow on the site.
Yeah, they just sprayed each other out. They gained the side control. Last man left alive in a corner. Can't really do much. And that's going to be the first round on the board for Team Feline. Brilliantly done. And again, taking out Lakshay, it seems like, has become the goal for Team Feline. That needs to happen if you want to stand a chance of winning the round.
Or in my opinion, just go towards the B side quick.
Yeah, that
and
can also
anyways
happen.
going to catch the players of Galaxia 5 off guard. Unless Rogue pops off in a really good fashion, then maybe it will be a bit of that problem. And still, for some reason, Warlord does not check one of the most common angles, and he gets caught by Rogue. So I don't understand why are these type of rookie mistakes being made by the players of Felines. And once again, hands too busy. Rogue, this man is racking up the players of Felines like they do not even mean anything.
Yeah, I mean, 2 players got completely off guard, and Rogue, impressive punish, but all of a sudden, Feline, even after being in control of that side, finding the first frag and everything going right for them, find themselves in a big disadvantage. Now it's just Dope remaining in a 1v3, and he's being surrounded right now, cornered into that box. Lakshay has the info and lands the shot as well. 4-1. Galaxia, big advantage to work with now.
Why is it Dope who's always the last man standing, and his teammates, they just get picked off? At this point, it feels like Dope is like the main play. If he gets taken down, then the entirety of Feline just comes collapsing down. Dope is like the main hero Felines is relying on in this search and destroy, and that's not a good thing. Relying on one single player every single time, not a big fan of that.
This time again. Oh, again he goes down. Lakshay out of the way. And they quickly switch up, running towards that B site. Attention drawn towards a quick switcheroo. There's a man waiting for them, Disparity. And he gets a little aggressive, spots out the first man, gets taken down, baited by Virus.
Dope with that pick. Maybe this can be the round Felines need. And if Felines win this, this can also be the momentum breaker for Galaxia. Just two players standing in front of the entirety Felines. This time around, finally, we're not seeing just one man alive from Felines. Instead, it's two players standing just from the side of Galaxia. And once again, Illusion. I'm not even sure where he's looking. Felines are really failing to check some of the most classic angles. Why is Illusion looking towards side when his teammates are already there?
Doesn't matter. They still have the round in the bag, and at least it's a 4-2 swap. So Felines still have an opportunity to make a comeback. The switch up. Felines on defense. Galaxia on attack now. It's going to be a 4. Are they going for a 4-1 spread? Yeah. 4-man stack towards A. 1-man towards B all alone. But Galaxia, it's 5-man rush towards that B site. And Warlord is playing way far in the back. Just backs off as well after all of that utility that was lobbed in his face. Finds the first kill in the round though. So Feline, they have the advantage against Galaxia this time around. And a lot more map control as well. There's no opportunity for Galaxia to rotate back towards A now.
Felines is now starting to take it real slow. Because they have understood quick bursts sometimes can really give the opponents a big advantage. Rogue is able to find Dope. That's the main man, the big man taken down already. And now for Felines on this defense. I love the patience. They're really fiddling with the enemy mines. And considering it is a 4-4 too, both the teams have an equal standoff.
Got completely off guard. Illusion. Brilliant off angle. Looking for a few more. Gains the edge. Feline. Yeah, this is going to be their round. Making quick work. And Illusion. Impressively done, man. Stood in one position. Takes down 4 players. Impressive.
Good thing.
Yeah, Feline are going to need a lot more of that if they want to make a comeback. They're just one round away.
They almost have already, so
yeah,
it is fine. 3-4. And Felines now, they've got the win in the sail. They just need to keep on moving with that same direction they have been. Dope with the sniper is playing pretty close. And Lakshay is now starting to clear out these angles. Dope is holding the same angle where Lakshay was! And a quick flick from Lakshay shuts down Virus. But at least information is now given. Dope misses the first shot that he took against Lakshay. And Lakshay's definitely going to go for the repeat, but that's a mistake. He gives the trade that Lakshay, or that Dope was looking for, and Dope is able to find the second one as well on the site as he gets the third man too. Galaxia 5 at least are able to recover quite quick. As long as Rogue is alive, there's a big chance Galaxia 5 will come through.
Yeah, but that was a very awkward round, man, especially for the side of Feline. There was no need for that unnecessary early aggression, especially from Virus. Just running into Lakshay like that. Dope tried his level best. That 3-piece from him was very impressive, but then again, by then, Feline were already at a 2-man disadvantage and his teammates were dying left and right. Round handed over to Galaxia for free. And maybe now Feline are going to start to feel a little bit of pressure. Oh, but the mow down could be big. He finds 2. But the trade comes through. It's 3v3. And this actually gives them the edge.
Yep. Even Dope is taken down 2-on-3. Still doable for Felines. 5-3. Honestly speaking, this search and destroy is getting real close. Warlord and Virus. And look at Luckshek. He's going to be able to catch at least one player off guard. And Virus now sniffs the man coming from the back. He looks in the back lines, but still it's really not going to matter. Because Luckshek anyways finds a perfect backstab. A 1-on-3. Too much to ask for, maybe from Warlord, considering he's been having a rough day today. And he's got his hands on the machine pistol as well. Galaxia 5 is easily going to get the plant down too. And Luckshek is going to be there with the flank anyways. So he's like that wild card entry the players of Galaxia 5 are counting on.
Oh, he's standing in a corner, gets peeked, and just walks into the crossfire. 6-3 Galaxia. The big brain play is finally being brought on board. Well, all of a sudden it just feels like Felines now too confused with how to react, how to stop Galaxia in their tracks.
Oh, that was a close one. Imagine if Dope connected that. Okay, well, he does that one. But then he instantly gets picked off himself. What is happening? It's the battle of snipers. And Illusion with this flank is able to find a nice double kill. A 3-on-2, man advantage in the hands of Felines, but still it's doable for Galaxia. It is the match point for them. They just need one single round, Johnny. But Felines, they've got a nice field set up all the way towards the A site. Just waiting for the players to walk directly in their crosshairs. Still the bomb is dropped all the way back on the spawn, by the way. And that's where the hold from Felines is really going to give them the edge. One last man standing. And I don't think so. A lot can be done just by a one-man Marbs.
I mean, we've just witnessed a 1v4 clutch yesterday. So, oh no, not like this. Yeah, definitely not going to work out like this, of course. This gets taken out, 6-4. Feline still in the fight. But one mistake and they lose it all. That's the thing. That's the only problem over here. Galaxia still play midway. That nade finds the first frag. That's going to be Virus out of the way.
It's a big blow now. And Galaxia, for some reason, it feels like they're going to have the upper edge in this search and destroy. They're finding positive traits, and Marbs goes big when his team needs him the most. Marbs steps up big time. 3-on-2. Dope and Fallen. Can these two make it happen? Man advantage in the hands of Galaxia. Are we going to see a clutch pulled out from these two players? So Felines. Slowly and steadily, Galaxia moving towards the A site. Creeping and crawling their way, but Disparity knows where one man is. But he gets caught in the cross. And with that, now it's taken down with 2-on-2. And still, for some reason, Dope is able to shut down Marbs as well. One more man to go. It's a 1-on-2. But that too is Luckshek. And Johnny, you know, Luckshek is always good for two. Is he going to be able to find that two-piece once again and prove what he's capable of?
Oh, let's see. He's being very patient, moving in slowly and steadily, but Fallen and Dope, they've done this once before. The problem is that bomb drop, it's way too far away. 24 seconds left. Luckshek will have to make a run for it. Tries to move in with the pistol. Might have spotted out Fallen.
He does! Oh my god, Johnny, he's on the verge of taking down the second man as well. Once again, can he get the two-piece? Yes, he does! Luckshek is always good for two, no matter what. He will get both the players standing on the site.
Oh man, I did not expect that, to be honest. I mean, they were playing attack and the man had no time left. He actually had enough time to go pick up the bomb, run towards the side, go for a plant and play for the objective. He's like, nah, too easy. We don't do things like that here. Just takes the fight, spots out, fall in a crazy sniper shot coming in and taking out Dope the way he did. That was much worse.
It's a prime example of read like a book. He knew exactly where both the players are going to be towards the A site. He knew that they are in that dark alleyway. And as he went for those peaks, man, he was able to isolate the duel perfectly on the first man. And then, considering he knew where the second man is, he instantly pulls out the machine pistol, pushes right on his face, and he takes him down as well. Lakshay, he makes it look so easy. And every single time, he's good for 2.
Well, he is definitely very impressive. And again, this was the one moment where we were asking for it, right? Lakshay needs to step up, and that is what we want to see. And again, this man was very impressive. Majority of the times, you remember the first half, right? He was the one who single-handedly denied that A site to the side of Felines all alone.
Yeah, and Lakshay was like the main playmaker, but the impact fragger was Rogue. And looking at Rogue's performance too, 11-7, solid stuff. Lakshay, he was the top fragger considering with the sniper, he was always getting 2 kills every single round. So yeah, it's going to be tough to stop a player who's been feeling himself at the top of his form. And then Dope on the opposite side, 14. Dope is carrying his team on the back at this point. The rest of the boys, they need to wake up soon as possible. Illusion's doing great, but I'm still waiting for players like Fallen, Virus, and Warlord to do something. Warlord in Hardpoint, he was struggling. Even now in Search and Destroy, Warlord is struggling.
Well. I mean, the struggles are going to continue for a while, but they need to try to react and try to make a comeback, because now we're going to be heading over to Control. And that is where the series is going to be decided. Again, this goes on to showcase how much these teams are in it to win it, right? A back and forth between the two sides, a complete topsy-turvy series right now. And a reminder, whoever wins Control does not just win the series, but wins a spot in the LAN finale.
Exactly. The Challenge Finals you all have been waiting for.
Yeah.
And the Challenge Finals will be happening in DreamHack, which will be starting, of course, from 15th of November and ending on 17th. So for those 3 days, trust me when I say this, it will be an action-packed affair, especially when you're going to have the audience watching the entire gameplay live on the stage itself. It will be crazy. And for these players, some of the players, for them, it's going to be their first time. For some, they have been in these type of moments. But for some, if it is going to be their first time, one thing is for sure, there will be those jitters from those guys.
Well, let's see. The jitters now need to go away. We are in control already. And with how it's begun, it seems like, once again, just on that raw firepower, Feline taking control of the game. And they are looking like they just want to run away with this lead.
That's a good thing from the side of Felines. I mentioned this, right? Warlord was not able to pop off that well, but Warlord this time around, off the rip, he gets a nice 2-piece for his team. And he keeps his team on the board instantly. But then Rogue and Drago, these two guys as well, not that far back. 26-25, just one respawn lead. And the fact that none of these teams would actually prioritize the point as well, that's quite nice. A and B is being controlled at the same time. They're both spread out.
Oh, let's see though. It's very close. Disparity. That's an evil play, man. Just lying out like that. Waited for the door to open, and once again, every single time it opens up, Disparity is just going to keep on doing the same thing. Finally gets shut down. But look at the objectives. It's an even play. Galaxia, they're controlling both of them at the same time.
They indeed are, Johnny, and A's almost about to be controlled too. But Felines, they do move in pretty quick, and they want to retake over the entirety of A. Felines is already on the verge of capturing this A. And it does feel like no one's going to be stopping the players of Felines anyways. But Galaxia 5 once again starting to get back in the groove of things. Objective A is already lost. Felines, they need to do something desperately. 15-14, yes, they do have the respawn advantage, but just one, it's really not going to count. If the players of Galaxia 5 are able to get 2 points at the same time, then imagine now all of them will be focused on B.
Yeah, all eyes on B.
It is way too intense and competitive. And with how back and forth this is happening too, Felines and Galaxia, Man, especially look at Felines 10-9. And at this point in time, Felines themselves knows it's better to just exhaust the response of the opponents than going for the control on the point itself. And that's what Illusion and Fallen is doing. The LMG, the man was just mowing down the lawns in the front, cleaning the floor with the bodies of the opponents. Even Marbs is there from the side of G5. Warlord able to shut down Marbs, so that's a good thing. Warlord, he needs to pop off this time around. His team needs him to wake up.
Oh no, the respawns going away, 7-4, just 3 respawns separating the two sides. And look at the players from Galaxia, they're looking to stab them in the back. You have Disparity moving in, but his teammates are dying. They need to stay alive for a few extra seconds, wait for Disparity to make the play. And he whips, but here comes the skill. It might be a little too late, 1 against 5. And Rogue, can you pull it off? He can't, gets taken out. And it's gonna be Feline walking away with the win in this initial round.
I do not understand why did he pop that. Rogue could have saved
it for the next round, yeah.
Yeah, but he still decided to pop it. I'm not exactly sure what was going through the boy's head. But I think so he messed up big time.
It's desperation, man. Too desperate for the win. Oh! Right in his head. This time, once again, Feline off to the great start.
War Machine in the hand, and Illusion is just trying to play around the pillar. He's also getting pushed on by Rogue, but Rogue is just better with the Fennec. He eventually gets capitalized from the back. The Equalizer's in the hand of Warlord, and Warlord's able to mow down the second man as well. Felines 23-23 against Galaxia. This one's looking pretty intense and close. Felines, for some reason this time around, they're not able to win a lot of those gunfights that they were able to in the previous round.
Oh, but still, it's a very close match between the two sides. The respawn still kept in check. Every single time someone gains the edge, it gets tossed back to the other team. 19-19, still a close fight. Oh, that could have been a big play, but he gets shut down. Warlord out of the way. And all of a sudden now, Galaxia with the upper hand in this match, 15-18. Felines getting pushed in a corner.
Johnny, look at the amount of operator skills the players of Galaxia have available for, and I'm pretty sure maybe in the upcoming rounds, that's what they're going to be looking to pop off. 14-18, big advantage in the hands of Galaxia right now. And for Felines, they just keep dropping down on the respawn number, and that's not a great thing. Drago pops his. And now, for some reason, Felines, they're not able to get anything done on the board anymore. They're losing out on the man number slowly and steadily. The response is being taken away. The advantage that we spoke of, Felines, they don't have it anymore. And all thanks to the operator skills that the players of Galaxia 5 are popping. 9-14, well, make that 9-13 now. And even the Sparrow in the hands of Drago is able to find a little bit of that hope.
Let's see, though. Ooh, that was a nasty whack, but Galaxia, I think it is done and dusted. They have a big advantage to work with, but Feline, they are finally moving for that objective, although it's a little too late. It's 3 respawns, 2 respawns against the 9 available for Galaxia. So this round is already done and dusted. Galaxia looking for that equalizer. That's going to be an easy one for them to gain as well. Last man left alive. And he's not even moving, he's just standing there. When handed over Galaxia, they get it.
Because he knew it's next to impossible to clutch it. Now it's 1-8. So, yeah. There's no freaking way it's going to be able to do anything. Felines, the only reason why they lost the previous round, it's because the operator skills and the amount of operator skills the players of Galaxia had available. But still, for Galaxia, they do have a few more available right now, too. And they can keep on popping those if they want. And for Felines, they're troubled. They're just going to keep on stacking up on top of each other. Disparity pops his claw, and he's definitely able to find a lot of that plus value. And off the rip, you can see 27-29. Felines not able to find any sort of reply. Felines, they need to play it smart. They need to showcase a bit more patience.
Well, when you ask them to be patient, Necro, that is when they just run into the crosshairs of Galaxia. And even though it's a slight edge, Galaxia, they have an edge to work with. Rogue, is he trying to spawn trap them just all by himself with that equalizer? Yes, he was. And he instantly gets taken out. That was a ballsy move, and he did waste a lot of time off the players of Feline, allowing Galaxia to take complete control of that A control point. But was that enough? Felines fight back, and Galaxia, they get a little too complacent with this. Felines now with the upper hand in this matchup. It's 18 respawns to 21.
War Machine in the hands of Illusion, and he's constantly spamming through around the corner. And still, for some reason, Illusion is not able to find a lot. 16 to 20. And Felines, at least they've got the big respawn lead. 14 to 19. They're constantly maintaining that 5 respawn lead. And if Felines, they keep on moving up with the same rate. Galaxia, they will start to struggle a little bit too much. They still do have 2 operator skills available. Luxia and Marps. And if they do want, they can utilize it right now so that they can get this round in their hands too. But even Felines, they've only got 1, and that's in the hands of Dope and Peace. Virus pops his Purifier. He was able to find a nice 2-piece, but after that, he's not able to get a lot done. 18 to 8, and now the respawn lead is too much in the hands of Felines.
Yeah, it's a very big advantage. Can't really walk away with anything after this. 2 to 1. And Feline now, I think now is when they pressure Galaxia for real. Look at that. 2 operator skills available right off the bat. Just 1 on mobs for the side of Galaxia, and Feline already, look at them sticking together, moving towards A. Galaxia a little bit split. They're trying to cut the flanks, but it's going to be very difficult for them to pull off, especially with Warlord picking things off the way he did. They instantly pop off that operator skill, Claw being pulled out. But not a lot of value gained from it.
Yeah, Dope and Peace once again switches back towards the Vector. And he's not able to get a lot done. That Fennec, definitely from the side of Dope and Peace, is clicking today. And Virus as well, constantly spamming through on the side itself. Luxia and Rogue, they work in tandem. And Galaxia now, this time around, they do have a decent lead when it comes to respawns, 21 to 24. And they do have 2 operator skills available too. So if Galaxia wants, they can constantly keep on adding that pressure on top of the players of Felines. But if you're trying to speak of Warlord, even he's got his hands on the equalizers. If he wants, he can pop those as well. And Warlord's equalizer, if he does pop it, he needs to make sure it is going to be at the right time.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be at the right time. But let's see, Galaxia now with a big advantage to work with. Mobs with this War Machine. Just an absolute water. Look at that. Quick turnaround. The shutdown comes through. Even through the window, finds another one. And at this point, I think Feline pushed way too far back. It's going to be difficult for them to react. 10 versus 22. That's a very big advantage.
I love this from the side of Galaxia 5. They're always maintaining 2 to 3 operator skills every single round. And that's a good thing. And now as well, they've got 2. With every single operator skills the players of Galaxia 5 are investing, they're always able to find everything. And that's the main issue for the side of Felines. They're always falling prey to these operator skills that the players of Galaxia 5 are bringing. And somehow, for some reason, Galaxia 5's timing has been looking immaculate. 8 to 17, the lead is too much, and at this point we know Felines, no matter what they try to bring on the board, it's going to be next to impossible to do anything. But Felines, they're actually going to pop their own operator skill. War Machine's able to find a decent amount of value. Even Warlord pops out the equalizers. Oh man, it feels like Felines are really going all out in this one. They do not want to lose this round, and what am I watching? Illusion with this 2-piece. Maybe it really wants to make it up close and personal. Feline slowly and steadily losing their grip. Even the Predator missile was being used on Marbs. 9 to 4. It is doable, but everything has to be flawless. And Illusion catches the first man too, but unfortunately the conversion on the second wasn't that great. 3 to 7. It's too much to ask for, in my opinion.
Yeah, it is a little too much to ask for, but let's see. I mean, Illusion tried his level best, trying to go for a spawn trap, but did not really work out. The Purifier comes out, but it's not enough value. One last man left alive, a 1v5. Can he pull it off? The answer, it's a simple one. It's a no. And there's the equalizer for Galaxia 5. The last round of this control, man,
Galaxia
this series.
Galaxia won just because of their efficiency. They have their operator skills up. Disparity has his, Rogue has his, Drago has his, and imagine if all 3 of them, they pop it at the same time. What can Felines do? It will be an absolute meat grinder on the point itself, and that's what is exactly happening. But Felines Fallens this time, he's able to pop his Sparrow, and he's able to get a lot of that value. He was able to find a 3-piece, even Dope backs it up with 2 of his own, and that's nicely done off the rip. Felines, they do get the early momentum. They do get the early advantage that they were looking for, and if they keep on running away with the same momentum, and Felines, they might just be the one to come through victorious. But Galaxia, they do have the operator skills up, and that's when as they pop those skills, anything can happen as well.
They popped 3 of them, Necro, and nothing happened. That is what I wanted to say. Operator skills, they can be shut down, and Galaxia, they are being shut down right now. Feline somehow managing to hold on to the advantage. Dope is there. He still has his operator skill available, and I think he's going to save it for the clutch moment. 4 frag advantage still available to the side of Feline. And at this point, both the teams, none of them wants to go for the objective. They are just out for blood. And Feline, look at the aggression. Look at how pushed up they are on that map. Feeling so confident about themselves. Dope, he's going to be in a big threat. A lot of players pushing towards him. Finds to get shut down, but the job is done. 20-16. Feline still with the advantage. Galaxia, what is their answer to this? They are getting those trades, but somehow Felines have managed to hold on to the advantage. Finally, the claw comes out. Now they bring it down to 2. Again, a 3 frag advantage, 3 respawn advantage available to the players of Feline, and they are slowly and steadily capturing that A control point.
17-13, still the advantage is not too big. It can be easily neutralized by Galaxia 5 if they use the operator skills perfectly. It's all going to come down to the timing, my friend, and one of the objectives already being lost. Galaxia, they're holding back a little bit too much. They need to unleash their wrath. And Luxship, beautiful shot with that sniper. Warlord shut down, 11-15, just 4 respawns lead in the hands of Felines. At this point in time, every single lead is going to be counted. Virus, beautiful stuff. We'll make that 5 now. 15-10. Galaxia with a big disadvantage in their hands now. Mars was able to find the first, but there's a man in the back lines too, holding with the LMG. Rogue, he needs to pop off once again, just like the way he was doing in the previous game mode. And Rogue, at least he's able to get a few more on the board himself. Rogue is over challenging this fight now. He needs to be a little bit more smart with the duels that he takes. Every single kill that's going to be accumulated by the players of Felines. It's just going to add on to the misery of the players of Galaxia. And now it's 5-11. Too much to ask for. 4-11. Felines, they're going to be the one to come through victorious.
Of course, big advantage available for Feline. There is no way they lose out on this. There you have it. The cleanup comes through. Last 2 players remain, but it's not going to matter, yeah.
I don't understand. Why was Galaxia holding back so much? They had the operator skills too, Johnny.
No, they wasted them. They utilized the operator skills at the very start, but by then, Feline already had, I think they started off with a 3 finish advantage, and Galaxy just panic pulled out 3 operator skills, and no value was gained from that. They saved 2 in the bag. They gained an extra couple of frags with that claw, but even then, that was taken out of the picture. So, yeah, it was just a complete choke from Galaxy in this last round, man. Feline is just a little bit more calm and composed.
I mean, hey, Johnny, at least my pick this time around, it came through, right? I went with Felines. They were the one to come through victorious, and that's what we all saw coming, maybe.
This last round, you expected Galaxia to win just because they started off with 5 operator skills.
Exactly, not 5. They had 3, right? And the fact that the efficiency from the side of Galaxia 5 was much more better throughout this entire control, I thought that, okay, maybe Galaxia might just be the one to come through victorious, because on paper, they were the one who was supposed to be better just because of the operator skills. But they messed up big, and it's their own fault. They're the one to blame.
Yeah, they tried, man. It was a fight worth watching between these 2 sides, to be honest. I mean, you could see the desperation, you could see how much it meant to them, how much was on the line between the 2 sides. And of course now, congratulations to Team Feline. They are the ones who will be moving forward towards that LAN finale in Hyderabad.
We'll see you guys in the challenge finals, my friend. And at this point, we pretty much know who are going to be the top 6, who will move on towards the challenge finals in the DreamHack LAN that will be happening on 15th till 17th. The 3 days will be action-packed, one thing is for sure. And we're definitely going to see a lot of these close calls.
Yeah. I mean, there's definitely going to be a lot of these close calls, as you mentioned. But this was the last round where we witnessed Galaxia tried the level best, but still failed. And, I mean, it's just a tough loss, man. You can't really do anything about this. It was a valiant effort from Galaxia, making it all the way this far into this tournament, going up against Felines in their last match the way that they did, but Felines just proving to be a little better than Galaxia at the end of the day.
And this time around, Warlord was the man who was popping off for the side of Felines, by the way.
Yeah.
The entire day, Warlord was not feeling himself. Be it the Hardpoint, he was not able to play that great. Be it Search and Destroy, Warlord was still struggling. He only had 5 kills in Search and Destroy, by the way. So this time around in Control, he stepped up when his team needed him the most. And this is what I'm exactly saying, right? If Warlord pops up as well with his entire team, it's definitely going to make things much better for themselves. Because as a well-knit unit, you need to pop off. And let's be honest, Galaxia 5 isn't even the peak of the competition that these guys are going to be facing in the future. They're going to be facing off against some of the big names like Accelerate, Godlike over and over again. And how are they going to face them when they're facing such type of issues?
Exactly. There's a lot more work that needs to be done right now from the side of Feline now that they know that they are going to be moving forward towards that LAN finale. Luckily for them, they have a little bit of time to work upon themselves, and I hope that we see them evolve and evolve once we witness them in LAN.
Exactly, Johnny. The LAN will be there, but which will be happening on 15th November, by the way. I'm mentioning the dates over and over again because I want you guys to move on and book the tickets for DreamHack itself. But for now, it's time for us to toss to a short break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Looks like the players are ready. Here we go!
Killing it since tip off. Come with it or stay home, the people gon' feel ripped off. It's only major leaguers in the office. If you giving half of an effort around the rest of us, you'll make it awkward. I'm about that action, not the one you talk with. You better hope I'm not the one your coach gon' have you out here really guarded. It took a lot for me to get here, but I have arrived. I really made it and the haters be looking surprised.
The Snapdragon Pro Series is brought to you by Snapdragon Elite Gaming, Monster Energy, and DHL.
Welcome back after that short break to the final game of this challenge season. It's going to be me, your host, and caster Necro. John alongside with me on the panel. It's I, Super Johnny. And Johnny, it is going to be a game between Strike and Team Anthem. And for some reason, we already know is going to be the one to come through victorious here. Because on paper, and the way the stats say, Anthem, they have been looking much better.
Yeah, exactly. Anthem have been doing so much better now, and again, they've proven to be one of the stronger teams inside of their group, already qualifying for that LAN finale. And Strike at this point, I think this is just a formality for them as well. The last game that they get to play in the Snapdragon Pro Series. Strike was sitting dead last in the overall leaderboard, man. I mean, And Anthem right now, the only thing that they can hope for is they do not go into that LAN finale with a loss.
For Anthem, I just love the fact that that tactical brains has been working out for them perfectly every single time. And over here for Anthem, map veto as well is going to be quite the important one. If they do go off with standoff once again, then for Anthem it should be an easy piece of cake. But even Strike sometimes can be a bit of a nuisance if you do not know how to deal with them.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. And from the side of Strike, I think in fact, two players to avoid are definitely going to be Rion is one of them, and Levi, when he's in form, can be quite deadly. But let's see, I mean, Anthem, again, as we keep talking about, they're not an easy team to beat, one of the best in their group. And this is the lineup. We have Wiz, we have Legacy, Sundance, and Nochi, and Dude inside of the team. And all of these players also have a decent amount of experience of the competitive circuit on them. So they know what they're doing. And now at this point, as I said, just want to hold on to the momentum before you head towards LAN.
Yeah, and speaking of the past itself, right, Anthem, they've been much better on paper. They've been much better no matter what it is. You talk about the stats itself. They've been much better compared to the players of Team Strike. Team Strike has been struggling in every single matchup they've played so far. But if they still do pull off an upset against the players of Team Anthem, then it will be quite a big statement made before the LAN finals. Yes, Team Strike is not going to qualify anyways, but it's all about the mental for Team Anthem too, right? They would like to move in with quite a nice run towards the LAN finale.
Yeah, it was a very nice, very impressive run, but let's see how today is going to turn out. And, of course, all in the wait for Anthem to show up on that LAN as well and see how they're going to face up against the other teams. What I'm interested in, and I want to see how these Group A teams go up against Group B, because in Group A, I think Accelerate was the clear favorite. Group B as well, Godlike were the clear favorite, but then you have NS, Time to Pound as well, putting up impressive performances on the board. And Anthem versus Accelerate, if you try to compare their matchup, I think it is, again, Accelerate were heavy favorites in their group. There was no one there to contest them. So it's going to be interesting to see when the mix-up happens on LAN, what it turns out to be. Before that, I think we have to look at the veto of this particular series.
Exactly, and the veto's on the screen. Standoff is going to be the first pick from the side of Anthem, which is something I saw coming as well. I speculated this. And then you've also got Tunisia from the side of Team Strike. Now, looking at the map veto itself, it really tells me that it's going to be a quick 2-0. Johnny, what about you? Because Tunisia is quite a good point for the side of Anthem. We have seen them play for such a long time in Tunisia, and Anthem is one of those big brain teams.
I agree with you. I think it can be a quick 2-0. It all comes down to this first map. Because as we were talking about, right, Standoff is one of those places that even the side of Strike might just get a little too comfortable. So if that happens, there is a possibility that they might cause an upset on this first map and take the series all the way towards the decider. But that search and destroy, I think that is definitely going to be secured by Anthem. But hey, let's see how this thing is going to turn out. Strike versus Anthem, Hardpoint on Standoff begins.
And off the rip, it's going to be the players of Anthem as expected to dominate the playing field as well. They do get the early points control too, and for Anthem, as long as they're getting these kills, that's all that's going to matter. For Team Strike, what has really been their stronger suit is also their firepower. When they're pushing together towards the point, Team Strike can be a tough opponent to beat, and that's what Anthem realizes. They're trying their best to make sure that they're dealing with the players of Team Strike separately. That's why you see Sundance a little bit off from the hard point itself.
Well, let's see, though. Anthem already off to a great start, and again, as you mentioned, one man playing just a little bit off of that hard point has allowed them opportunity to just take control, but Strike still struggling to move in. Finally, they charge forward to challenge that hard point, but Anthem with an instantaneous retake do manage to keep them at bay.
Strike getting a few scrappy points. There's still 10 more seconds left on the hard point itself, and Team Anthem is definitely going to be super jealous, but Anthem is playing for the proactive control. They've already moved in towards the upcoming hard point, and now they're going to be the one to guard that for as long as possible. Team Strike 16 points on the board. That's not that bad, considering Anthem, they've only got 35 so far. Team Strike still has a chance to pull themselves back in this game, but if you're trying to speak of the mental edge, if you're trying to talk about the confidence as well, for Anthem it's going to be much better. But you can also look at it as an opposite side of the spectrum thing, and maybe you can't say Team Strike, they might just be in a better mental space because they've got nothing to lose.
Yeah, as of now they have nothing to lose, but let's see how long can Anthem hold on to this advantage, and when will Strike actually choose to strike. Again, going all in is an option for them here. As we mentioned, nothing to lose and a lot to gain, actually. A lot of experience and exposure to gain if they actually secure a win in this series right here. But resets coming in from Anthem as we move on to the Speed 2. Strike doing a brilliant job now, keeping themselves in action, looking to move in from that first floor, but the shutdown comes in, and it's going to be Rian and Levi again. These two men are just always incredible.
Sundance is really looking forward to push the boundaries, push the bars, and take down a few more players that are holding the off angles. But here comes Sundance as he puts that nail in the coffin as well. Team Strike 32-53. Anthem, for some reason, they're not able to completely isolate the duels against the players of Team Strike. The struggle is clearly visible.
Struggle is visible, but how far do they keep this going? 43-53, Strike almost catching up, and now it seems like Anthem all of a sudden very confused with how they want to take this game, how they want to take this fight against the side of Strike. 54-55-53.
I don't even know what's wrong with the players of Anthem. How are they struggling so much?
Yeah, and
War
all of a
Machine
sudden
from
as
the
well.
side. Yeah, War Machine from the side of Team Strike as well is able to find a lot of that value. Legacy eventually shuts down that War Machine, but it's a little bit too late. Sundown pulls out his claw, but he's not able to react in time. And at this point in time, it feels like Anthem, they're really just playing this game for fun. You can clearly see the team strategies with the way they're challenging the duels as well, with the way they're looking for to breach inside of the hard points. Team Anthem, there's no proper structure to it.
Well, let's see, as you mentioned, no structure to their play right now, and Strike has been exploiting that for a long time. Anthem at this point just feels like players are running in to take individual fights. Just playing for those frags, not for the objectives. And Strike playing together have gained the edge inside of this game, but for this next hard point, Anthem get there first, and Strike has been denied complete access.
Starboy AFK with the Fennec in his hands. He's just holding close angles. And as we've had to talk about this entire map, right, in standoff, it's really easy to hold the hard points too, considering all you need to do is just hold the doorways. And that's where the shotguns or maybe even the operator skills can be really useful. And that's what we saw a while ago. A man utilized 2. Purifier was pulled out. Alpha is the only man who's standing on towards the hard point. And Anthem, for some reason, they're constantly losing that control towards the hard point. But you really got to give it to the players of Strike. Every single time they do know exactly how to counter the players of Anthem.
Well, let's see though. They know how to counter the players of Anthem, but Anthem at any point can just look to turn things around. It's not going to be easy though. Look at this. Anthem in the lead again. 102-97.
Strike is already ready on the opposite hard point. Players are prone. They're already getting the lay of the land too. The field is being set up as well towards the next hard point. 107-102, Team Anthem. And once again, do get the control back towards the hard point itself, but Levi from the top is now raining down death and destruction. Eventually, the players do wrap up from the side of Team Strike all the way in the pack lines. And Team Anthem, I'm not exactly sure what they need to do to try and make sure that Team Strike is going to be put down every single time, but Team Anthem is definitely struggling to win the duels, and that's a major sign of concern now.
Oh, but here comes the side of Anthem and all of them together as well. Look at that. Strike is going to be cleaned up from this hard point, sent back packing. And Anthem, now I think this is where they take the advantage against the side of Strike and walk away with the lead of this game. Starboy with that Sparrow. A lot of value gained. The hard point is completely cleaned up. They get 5 extra seconds over here. Moving on to the next one. That is where they react as well quite nicely. Strike want to play off of that rotation, want to get there first, want to gain the edge, keep the edge inside of the game, but Anthem, they're struggling with the retake now.
111-131, Anthem, for some reason, I never saw this coming, man. This is way too close. Starboy was able to find a 2-piece with that Predator missile, so that's a great thing. But Levi around the corner, he's now starting to rack up so many kills. Even Sundance gets wrapped up in a sheet of the players of Team Strike. Team Strike with the defense, they're looking pretty on par. And honestly speaking, for Team Anthem, the struggles that we're seeing, it's not the exact Team Anthem that we were seeing from the past, Johnny. It seems like a complete different Team Anthem.
Yeah, it does seem like a different team, but it's very interesting to see how things turn out. Oh boy, skill issue. Climbs out of nowhere. Up the window he goes. Takes down that one man, but instantly gets traded out. That was unfortunate. Could have been a much bigger play. 16 seconds for Anthem to gain a lot of value from this hard point, and again, this is where they gain the edge. This is where they gain the upper hand. Moving on to the next hard point. Look at that. Strike is already there waiting for them.
Alpha was able to find a nice 2-piece as well, and now Anthem is going for the investments as well. Anthem, they've got a lot of these operator skills stacked up. Sundance, Legacy, and Skill Issue. They've got their operator skills available. Purifier was popped a while ago, but that Purifier isn't really able to find the amount of value that it was supposed to. And still the man is holding the corners on the window. Reaper from the side of Team Strike. He's just waiting for someone to cross on forward on that window, but that's not going to be the case. Anthem, they eventually do breach in. They do get the hard point control as well, and now they're going to run away with the points lead.
I feel bad for Reaper, man. He was waiting over there with the Purifier in his hands, all ready, all set for a long time, and then what happens? Just get naded and gets kicked out. But over here, B-Wiz, he does go for the retake, so Strike do gain some value back, but time's running out. Slowly and steadily, they are catching up. Anthem looking to move in as well. A lot of nades, a lot of utility being lobbed inside indoors, but Strike Alpha, does he get taken out? Yes, he does. And the retake from Anthem, a absolutely beautiful one. If they can manage to cross that 200-point marker before Strike closes in, then Anthem should be able to close out this match and secure the win.
Oh, look at Skilly Shoe. He realizes the fact that now he needs to be the quick one to rotate all the way on the opposite side of the points, and he does so as well. Nice pick from that Fnac, but unfortunately he gets struck down from the back lines, and Levi once again on that window is able to spot so many players and take him down. Levi played quite a crucial role. Team Strike's firepower, it's been quite nice, but the team plays something that's really holding them back, and that's where Team Anthem can really excel.
Well, yeah, they are doing very well for themselves. 203 to 150. Anthem absolutely phenomenal with how they have been able to control this game. When it started off, Strike with the lead. But Anthem is showcasing the experience, making a comeback, and now they are going to own this hard point for the next 20 seconds as well with how Sundance has been playing. Impressive performance coming from him. Impressive performance from Wiz and Starboy as well. Both of them sitting there with 30 kills each. 221 to 154. I think now maybe Strike are way too far behind. Look at that, the next hard point. Anthem are going to be the first ones on it. If they could just clean up a few individuals from the side of Strike, send them packing, they will have enough time to just lock down that hard point and secure the win right here, right now. This is their opportunity to gain the advantage in this series. But the nades come in flying from the side of Strike. God, Anthem feeling the pressure. But Rian, Rian has been on fire, but I think Anthem, they have pretty much have this game now.
Yeah, Anthem, they've got too much of a bigger lead at this point. 170 to 232. Anthem, there's no way they lose by such a big margin, right? But still, Team Strike, they're doing quite a good job on this hard point. Every single time, whenever this hard point pops up, it is Team Strike to get their hands on this hard point instantly. But still, Sundance, a great find through the wall. The Spam was able to find so much value over there, but Sundance eventually, he was not able to cross on forward and get his hands on the hard point itself. Team Strike slowly and steadily, they're being shattered as Starboy steps in and he finds a multi-kill.
Oh man, Strike has been able to delay Anthem on this hardpoint for a very long time. And Anthem now are struggling to move forward. Just 10 seconds remain. Strike, they have done a brilliant job. They not gained a lot of value from this, but still, keeping Anthem at bay was the objective here. Now moving on to the next hardpoint. This time it's going to be Strike with a quick rotation. And Anthem, they need to break those crossfires indoors. B-Wiz gets distracted, gets taken out. The Sparrow comes out. This could be the closer. They're going to try and cross the road. Starboy whiffs a shot, finds a look for the second, but it's not even going to matter. His teammates get the job done. And Anthem brilliantly executed. As soon as the retake came through, we knew it was going to happen. Anthem walking away with the win.
Quite a close hard point today, I'm not going to lie. Strike still doing pretty good, knowing the fact that their main motive is to just rely on their firepower, and that's what they exactly did. That's what they're known for as well. Team Strike, we've seen this team perform in the past. They do have a pretty great firepower. The only thing that really separates them from a good team is that team synergy, because considering you are one of the newer faces on the block, it will take time for you to build that. But as you mentioned, there's a lot to learn from these competitions that you're participating in. It's all about the experience that you're gaining, and soon enough, maybe in the future, you can spoon your team play out a little bit more.
Yeah, I think, again, it's all about experience, as you mentioned, and from that experience is how you learn, how you improve as well. Just see what the mistakes were made and try to fix them for the future matches. And I think Strike, again, it was an interesting start to this hardpoint. Strike having the upper hand was very impressive, but then I think, they just lost it all for no reason at all. Anthem was struggling. Strike could have just kept the pressure on. Too much breathing room given to the side of Anthem. That was the first mistake, and then Anthem just slowly and steadily just kept moving forward. Every single time Strike would try to catch up, Anthem would just make sure that they did not get any points.
Honestly speaking, though, even Anthem, in some instances, it really felt like the boys were quite disconnected, especially in the P1 itself. Off the rip, they were able to get the advantage, but then later on, with the way that advantage was lost, none of us saw this coming, right? Team Strike, they were able to play together, and that's what their main forte is. Firepower and playing together, sticking together, and that's what Strike realized. As soon as they got their hands on the hard point, they were instantly situating themselves, they were instantly setting that field up, and that's why Anthem, for them, it was getting real tough to try and make sure that they're vacating that hard point. But we've got the stats on the screen. Of course, Wiz from the side of Anthem is going to be the top fragger, 39 frags, and then you've also got Starboy, but nothing taken away from Team Strike as well. Levi, Ryan, these guys were doing pretty great.
Well, let's see, though. I mean, it was an impressive performance from these individuals, but again, as you mentioned, I mean, Riyadh, I think there's always too much pressure on him from the side of Strike. He's always been one of the most consistent performing players for his team, but that is not going to be enough. One man alone cannot win a war, and that is the lesson for the side of Strike. You can't just rely on this young gun all the time, but again, still a mode left, still 2 more potential modes left. We move on to Search and Destroy. This was a map pick, I believe, from the side of Strike, and it has been taken by Anthem. Now we move on to the next Search and Destroy, and Anthem always comfortable on Search and Destroy again. So I think that is where the real challenge will be for Strike, to beat Anthem on SND.
Exactly, man. And Tunisia is one of those maps where Anthem is really comfortable playing.
Yeah.
It is one of the OG maps as well. Anthem, once again, considering it is Search and Destroy. And Search and Destroy is one of the most fair game modes, in my opinion, because if a team is good, they will be good on Search and Destroy. It is really tough to take them down.
Yeah, it is definitely going to be tough to take them down, but let's see. Anything can happen, man. Today has been filled with a lot of surprises, and it is going to be interesting to see how things turn out now after the series is done and dusted. Of course, setting it all up for that LAN finale in Hyderabad. But here we go. Strike on defense, Anthem on attack, and it's an all-out B push coming from Anthem right off the bat.
And they'll easily get the side in the hands as well. Even the bomb's going to be planted. No one from the side of Team Strike will be able to stop it. There's one man who's rotating all the way in the back lines, by the way. And it is Rian. If this flank is going to be found successfully, then maybe Anthem's post-plant defense will be taken down easily as well. The plant does not come through, by the way. Anthem messes up big time. The players did not push up all the way in the back lines, but still Anthem is able to win the duels. But as soon as I say so, even the remaining players, they get taken down by Team Strike. How did Anthem mess up so big?
Oh boy, now that is again something we did not expect. How this day was going to begin. This game was going to begin, but let's see. Anthem once again, I think they are on the same track just like their previous mode. Rubber banding for the win. This time a push towards A side, but it's completely stragged. And Alpha, what was that? A quick 2K. Anthem just destroyed in a matter of seconds.
Strike is making it real quick. What is going on with the players of Anthem? I think it's sheer overconfidence. Anthem maybe thinking that they're superior and straight up just bum rushing towards the site. And every single time, Anthem is getting caught off guard. A classic setup. It's a 2-1-2. One man towards mid from Strike and 2 towards the individual sites. Starboy is able to find Ryan, so that's an important pick. For Anthem, every single pick they find is now going to be a glimmer of hope. Levi with the LMG. If anyone does decide to step on towards the site, this man will light him up. 4 and 5 man advantage in the hands of Anthem, and Anthem is now really starting to overthink the scenarios.
They have to be overthinking at this point, of course. Getting strike down by Strike like that in the first 2 rounds. Not something that they expected, but let's see, struggling to move in, still being cautious. Holding outside of A. Gonna try and pick off that man hiding in a corner in the dark spot, but still haven't found that frag for themselves. Now finally they try to move in, but it's a beatdown handed by Strike again, and all of a sudden Anthem destroyed for the second time, for the third time in fact. Sundance, last man left in a 1v2 with a bomb drop right on site.
2-on-1 at Sundance. I'm not even sure what's going wrong with Anthem. They start off with the man advantage, and now they've got the man disadvantage. Sundance is the only player left standing. All the experience, it feels like it's thrown down the drain. Sundance now being the only man left standing. He loses that duel against Reaper. 3 rounds back-to-back, by the way, from Team Strike. It is a big surprising affair, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Definitely a big surprise, and I think that is something that even Anthem wasn't expecting. Strike doing so well for themselves right now. Okay, now this is way too slow. Anthem have just completely dropped the pace. Look at that. Look at how far back they are holding.
Why does it feel like Anthem is now scared? No matter what Anthem is trying to bring on the board, it's not been working out against Team Strike. We have been praying Anthem so much, but if this is how they take an exit from the challenge season, by an exit, I do not mean taking an exit from the tournament. I just mean on the last day itself, concluding the last day. If this is how they end it, well, then it's going to be on a super bad note. Before Team Strike, I'm loving how they're playing.
Oh, this is drop right in front of him, but Reaper can't really reap any of them off. Gets picked off, but as soon as they try to move in towards that B side, a shutdown from Alpha, almost getting 2. Still a lot of pressure taken away. Anthem stuck in a 2 versus 3 situation. And information compromised as well. Wizzy was waiting around the corner. The sniper can't really do anything. And Anthem, they've gotten it quite close. Strike expecting rotation. They're still holding on mid. Starboy needs to be very careful. There's a man around the corner. He gets caught off guard, gets taken out. It's a 4-0 start for Strike. Not expected at all, man. What a comeback.
Anthem is getting annihilated. They're getting destroyed.
Yeah.
This is a prime example of reality check handed out. Oh, man. We all were hyping Anthem up as one of the best, but if they get taken down by a team which has already been eliminated from the competition, then are they really one of the best?
Well, let's see. If Anthem lose like this has to be the worst beatdown we have seen today. And it's going to be even more surprising considering they won on Hardpoint just before.
We thought that this is going to be a complete one-sided matchup.
Yeah,
Anthem is supposed to dominate this, but now it's completely opposite. Wiz is getting picked off, and when skill issues getting taken care of. Man advantage once again in the hands of Team Strike, and they're just able to win the duels. How is Strike now losing any of the duels they're taking? And Starboy is now looking to pull off one of the biggest lurk. But I'm pretty sure that lurk is not going to establish anything. And just look at the amount of confidence Rion has as well. He's taking the fight all by himself, by the way, not even taking a help from his teammate.
Now let's see the 5-0. Man, this is something else. Is there any explanation to this apart from the fact that Anthem might just be chilling right now? They're not taking this seriously?
I don't think so, Johnny. Even if you're not taking this seriously, you're not supposed to lose this one-sided. You're still a professional team at the end of the day. No matter even if you're trolling, you're still at least going to be as good to get at least more than 2 or 3 rounds in this search and destroy, right?
Hey, I think they just need a reminder of that, and now that has happened. They find those 2 early frags for themselves. And they choose to strike. Your words were too harsh for them, Necro.
Sometimes, as I mentioned, the toxic motivation is just the right thing you need. Trust me, man. Just like our dads, right? They always give us that toxic motivation.
Oh,
they never speak nicely to us, but they want us to do good in life. So that toxic motivation is something that really hypes us up. Sometimes we can get angry,
It can work out, but right now I just feel the difference. It's just too big. It's 5-1. Strike just needs 2 rounds, and unless Anthem play flawlessly, it's going to be very difficult for them to win. But hey, another first frag found by Anthem, and they're doing quite well on this defense. At least it's a good
Anthem
start.
On defense. Yeah, Anthem on defense, in my opinion, they're supposed to have the edge now. One round is already being found, and looking at the pushes as well that Anthem is making, Rian was able to catch one. And just one last man standing now in the name of Reaper. Reaper is able to find skill issue, but that's all he's going to find for now. The man needs to watch his back. Reaper is now getting ganked up. And he needs to do something. He needs to try and isolate the duels. Reaper's able to do significant amount of damage on one of the players. That's hefty amount of damage. But the conversion, unfortunately, is not exactly there.
Oh, well, let's see. 3 versus 1. Another round gained by Anthem. Reaper is just hiding in a corner.
I mean, he has 40 seconds, so it makes a lot of sense, too, why he's doing this. Starboy's way too low. He can't even go for the peak again. And Anthem is playing this so defensive. They're playing this so disciplined.
You're wasting this time.
Anthem knows one single mistake and they're done for, too, right? Strike will have the match point instantly in their hands.
Bomb recovered, 15 seconds to go. He's making a run. Oh, he's coming back towards A.
Flank.
But still a 1v3, man. It's going to be way too difficult. Does not even check the close left. And Wiz just finds the frag, 5-2. Anthem, another round on the board secured. Now just a 3-round deficit against Strike. Do you think, are we going to see a clean comeback from Anthem from here on out? Do you think they win the next 3 rounds, get the equalizer?
It is definitely possible, but in my opinion, the lead is a little bit too much from Team.
Yeah.
One more round and Anthem's morale is broken. The chances, the hopes, and dreams that Anthem has to pull off a comeback will be shattered. So if Anthem plays this flawlessly, then maybe they can pull off a comeback. But Team Strike, even they're taking it super slow this time around. In my opinion, Team Strike should take it quick. That's what Team Strike is known for. It's a powerhouse.
Look at that.
Gun barrel is spotted. But unfortunately, the shot was taken a little bit too early. What are you doing, my friend? And there we go. Finally, the connection on the hand. How does Skillish not realize there was a sniper shot right next to him?
I think it was just too distracted right over there. I have no idea. I have no explanation to that as well. But this might be the opportunity that Strike needed. Unless Legacy finds a trade. And look at that. Look at that. The players from Strike instantly scrambling for control of mid and looking to move towards A. If they find that frag on towards that lad lurking mid, it changes everything. Oh, that's the second kill, and it's a big one as well. Yeah.
What a shot that was. He predicted that play too. And now Team Strike, they're going to make sure that this comeback is never going to be possible in the first place. A 2-on-3 man advantage in the hands of Team Strike, and the big brain plays that Team Strike is actually bringing up on the board is really pushing the boundaries for Team Anthem. They're in a big state of discomfort and panic at this point.
Oh, look at this. Rian, he's trying his level best. A 1v1. Oh, no HP. Somehow they win it. Somehow they still do manage to recover. I absolutely did not think Anthem was going to walk away with a round win right here. A big man disadvantage, but still finding those frags. And Rian, unlucky for him, he was extremely low towards the end.
Johnny, I think so now Team Strike's morale is going to be broken. This is where Team Strike is going to start to second guess themselves. Ooh, proactivity from Anthem. They're gaining the confidence that was lost a while ago. Look at Starboy holding such an off angle. And Anthem is also going to be desperate for these rounds. As we know, there's no room for error. But Team Strike, they can still afford to give a few rounds to try and understand what exactly Team Anthem switched up. But I think so Team Anthem on attack, they were just not able to get anything done. But on defense, that's where Team Anthem is much better. Good shot, but unfortunately he was on the legs. So that's why it's not going to be a confirmed pick.
He's taking their sweet time. Strike as well. Look at how cautious they are moving in. BUSC has spotted out one. Oh, does not pull the trigger though. Is being extremely careful, but hey, the trades come in. And this time again, the frags are just complete back and forth between the two sides, but still waiting for the side execution. Skill issue finds one more, looking for the second, fails to connect. And that is going to be the cue for Strike to move in. It's a 1 versus 2 situation. Legacy is the last man left standing from the side of Anthem.
Too much to ask for. One man going for the clutch. What just happened? Alpha walked in the crosser. A rookie mistake made by Strike Alpha. And that might just cost the entire round. It's all going to be down to the big brain plays. Does Legacy know where the last man's position? And he's going to wrap up all the way from the back. Strike is actually pulling some of the biggest brain plays so far. Only if Strike would have played the same way against some of the teams that they've faced in the past, maybe Strike could have been the one to move towards the land finale.
Wait,
but that pressure we talk of.
He got the defuse! Strike messed up, Necro! Strike messed up! That was not a 200 IQ play, it was a 0 IQ play. He just wrapped around him, wasted so much time. Legacy just defused the bomb.
He overcooked.
Yeah, man.
But honestly speaking, if he would have been a little bit quicker, if he would have ran with that rotate, then maybe things would have been different. But he took too much time.
Legacy had no idea where he was as well.
Free round gifted to Anthem. Team Strike now, all the lead they had built up. It feels like it's going to be nullified soon. 4 to 5 on the board. And what just happened? Starboy is not even looking at the angle where he's supposed to. Gets taken down by Reaper just like that. The man walked into the site like it's his own. And he easily gets the site cleared up too. Man, it feels like both these teams are gifting rounds and kills to each other.
Yeah, I do not know whether they are outsmarting each other or, well, neither of them is just like putting any thoughts into the plays. It's very confusing now.
One thing I can say for sure, Team Strike is trying very hard, and they do want to win this.
Yeah.
At least they've got the site control. They can easily go for the plan as well. But for Team Anthem, the rotations, they're pretty quick. Too many players in that same area. Rian crosses on forward, but there's too many players on that angle. Levi's going for the flank, but it's a little bit too late. Once again, Team Strike is overcooking. The man on the flank won't even have a chance to catch the diffuser. And Anthem should go for the defuse at this point. They've got the advantage. They can easily do so, and that's what they do.
They wait for that last kill to come through. As soon as Levi gets shut down, that is when they go for the defuse. But yeah, I mean, I like the fact that they moved in together. It was a high-risk, high-reward situation. Either all three of them could have been mowed down together, but they just jiggled in and out, trading fire. Took down that man hiding in dark and then moved in. 5 to 5. So Anthem do get the equalizer. 5 rounds on the board in a row. And they've made sure that Strike is going to be stopped in their tracks. Now Anthem, can they secure the win and close out the series?
Flashes, nades, everything thrown over that area. 5 to 5, Anthem with such a miraculous comeback. And Team Strike, they don't even know what just hit them. Strike still on the attack though. At least they're trying to make it as competitive as possible. And Legacy with this 2-piece that he's found so far on the site, it's really proven quite a lot. Sundance with the LMG now is just pre-firing around the corner. They can easily go for the defuse once again, Johnny. And he had the last man is looking to wrap up all the way in the back lines. I do understand it is supposed to be a big brain play, but that wrap is never going to come through.
That's for the second time they've done that. Yeah, rotation. I think Strike also struggling with rotation timings. But hey, again, it's a learning lesson, right? A learning experience. Let's see.
Indeed.
Anthem with a big advantage, and now they just run towards the players of Strike. They want to get this over with as quickly as possible, but Levi answers back. It's a 2 versus 1 situation. Oh my God.
Levi's found a 4K, Johnny.
Yeah.
He's on the verge of getting the ace. Can he get it? These guys really do want to make it to OT. 2-on-1. Skill Issue is going to try to nullify the odds of going to OT as much as possible. But Skill Issue, he's just waiting for the boys on the side itself, but he does not know that they're moving towards the opposite side. And now Skill Issue somewhere down line sniffs the issue, and he knows exactly what the problem is.
Have the plant down. Skill issue. Oh no.
No way.
Execution time.
And Levi, by the way, he still gets the ace. Levi stopped that execution from coming through.
Yeah. Oh man, that round was something else. Anthem, their overconfidence. One big reason why they lost it.
All the boys moving at the same time. Now Team Anthem, they need to realize what exactly the problem was last time, and they need to come up with a cure. And it feels like they've already found the cure too. Utilities aren't going to be off the essence. And Buies, the man's already moved back in the back lines. He needs to stick to his teammates. Levi with the LMG. He's been quite a big menace, but this time not in front of Sundance. As he rips his head apart. Levi shut down. Even Skill Issue is able to find Alpha from the back, and now Strike is getting countered. Getting read like a book. The last man, too, is not going to stand a chance against all the players of Team Anthem. And for Team Anthem, their defense was looking pretty nice the last time. So I think so. This should be Anthem's game.
Yeah, I think they should be able to close it out here. As you mentioned, they were struggling on attack. They've won a round on attack, and defense is their strong suit. But Strike, they are making a run, all of them together towards that B side. There's one man waiting for them on the other side. It's going to be Legacy, but Anthem right at the battle. Legacy kicks things off, finding the opener for his team. Looking for the second, spots the man, whips the shot, hoping to find and connect the second shot, but Levi answers back. He's going to be shut down by Wiz. Side control, though, gained by Strike. But they're still struggling finding those kills. 3 versus 3 numbers equalize. Nice. Skill Issue shows up. Rian shut down. He's going to get pushed in his face, but Skill Issue still helped by Wiz. Alpha's going to be picked off, and it's all over. Anthem, they do close out this series 2-0. But what an awkward search and destroy, man.
It was an awkward search and destroy. It was a 2-0, honestly, but
yeah,
still it felt like Strike, they really did make it super competitive. It did feel like a 3-mapper because even the Hardpoint went for as long as possible. Even that search and destroy went for as long as possible. We reached overtime. That too, Anthem facing off against Team Strike. Anthem is supposed to be one of the best teams in this region, and how do they struggle against a team that has already lost?
I mean, even I don't have an answer to that question, man. It was a very interesting series, but then again, I mean, Strike, we knew this was going to happen, right? They were sitting lost inside of their group, and it was always going to be a difficult challenge for them. But then again, Anthem, I think this was just a warm-up game for Anthem. As we mentioned, they should go into the LAN finale with a win, and they've secured that win. It was a close one, but it's still a win.
Yeah. We did see quite a hell of a comeback from the side of Anthem, especially when we saw 4 on the board. We thought, okay, Team Strike, they're cooking something that we've never seen in the past, but only if Team Strike would have played the same way in the past couple of series as well. Maybe Team Strike could have been one of those teams to qualify. They would have been in the top 6.
Yeah. Oh, boy. I mean, now I'm just waiting to see what happens at LAN, to be honest. I mean, we've seen such a stark contrast in performances from every single team. And it's going to be, I mean, of course, Godlike is going to be one of the best teams we're going to witness, but is anyone going to rise up to the challenge?
I think so. Accelerate is definitely going to be a tough competition for Godlike. With the way Accelerate's been playing, if you're trying to look at their map performances every single time, if you're trying to look at the leeway they have given to the opposing team, Godlike, they have been struggling in a few matchups. Let's be honest. Yes, it has been a 2-0. It has been a flawless run. Before Accelerate, it's not even been a struggle no matter what team you put them against. So looking at each and every single matchup and looking at the paper, Accelerate right now in the competition, they do seem to be a little bit more better than Godlike.
Yeah, they seem to be a little bit better. But it is Godlike. We know they are just going to evolve, take the next form, and be prepared for LAN. But it is definitely going to be quite intense, man. A lot of hard hitters showing up for LAN. You talk about Accelerate, Godlike is going to be there. Anthem, I mean, Anthem is like on and off. If they're having a good day, they're going to look like one of the best teams. If they're having an off day, then yeah, we just start questioning ourselves just like we did in this particular series. Other than that, Time to Pound, I mean, yeah, they just got pounded 2-0, but Time to Pound is also another team that I have a lot of hopes from. NS looking very solid as well, so that LAN finale is going to be extremely exciting.
Yeah, compared to 2023, I have high hopes this time around in 2024 from these teams, Johnny, because in 2023, you can still say, yes, we were seeing quite the competitive affairs, but there were a lot of these one-sided games too. But this time around, I don't think so that one-sided game is going to be there. Every single game is supposed to be super close. And yes, after that last game of the challenge season, we've got our top 6 on the screen. From Group A, 3 teams move on. From Group B, 3 teams move on. And Group A is on the screen. Accelerate, Anthem, and Team Felines. They will be the one to qualify to the challenge finals.
Yeah, I mean, these 3 teams do get to move forward to the challenge finals. And of course, these are the 3 teams from Group A. Then we have 3 more from Group B, and Accelerate again. They've matched their streak 4-0 for them. Then talking about Group B, we have Godlike Esports, Time to Pound, and NonStop moving forward from this particular group, doing extremely well for themselves. Godlike Esports, the undefeated ones from Group B, and that was expected, but Time to Pound, good job. Matches played, very exciting, and NonStop, same goes for them. Even in the losses, they were very graceful, and it was exciting to see them perform.
Exactly. I mean, the overall storyboard says it all, right?
Yeah.
Accelerate is one of the best teams from the side of Group A, and Godlike is, of course, the best team from Group B. Yeah. And imagine what happens when these 2 teams collide. Johnny, I would love to see that matchup on the first day itself, which will be, by the way, on 15th.
Yeah, and it's going to happen on LAN. Do not forget that in Hyderabad at DreamHack. Grab your tickets right now for the DreamHack Hyderabad, and of course we are going to be there as well to enjoy the action. Oh, you're sitting this way, so yeah, Necro and I are going to be there as well to enjoy the action along with you guys, and it's going to be an exciting state of affairs over there. Of course, I mean, on LAN the pressure is going to be different. It is the change in environment, but a lot of these newer players are going to feel the pressure because of you being there, so enjoy the action along with us. And is there anything else that you would like to say, Necro? Because I think, yeah, challenge season is over now.
Yeah, exactly. And Challenge Finals is going to be on the verge of rising up in the future, and we've been mentioning the dates over and over again. It's because we want you guys to move on and grab the tickets before they're being sold out. We would love to see you guys sit in front of the entire stage and cheer for your favorite team. Watch those games live in Hyderabad itself, because it will be an exciting affair. And as you mentioned, some of the newer teams, some of the newer players, they will be struggling a little bit too much. And one of those will also be NS, considering for them, this will be their first LAN. I'm talking about the players itself, not exactly the org. The org is quite the old one.
Yeah.
But with that being said, that's going to be it from me and Johnny. We'll see you guys on 15th November till 17th, because that's where the challenge finals will happen. For now, we'll take leave.
The Snapdragon Pro Series is brought to you by Snapdragon Elite Gaming, Monster Energy, and DHL.
I've had enough. Now it's time for me to turn around. Thought you knew what this was. Yeah, I am superstar. You were never the one for me. Never should have fell for me. Take the